Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. I'm Sketches and Scrubs, as you know, and today is going to be an amazing, amazing live stream because I have Kriksis here who's also going to be creating with me. I'm so sorry it's taken us so long to get on board. We were having some technical difficulties, but we are here now. We have fixed it, and we are so ready to just spend time in our sketchbooks and just have an absolutely amazing time. So thank you so much for joining. I've been reading the comments as they've been going on. And just to kind of let you know a little bit more about Kriksis, I've linked her YouTube channel down below, but she creates beautiful, stunning illustrations. They always have like stories and meaning behind them. She makes like the coziest videos where you just feel like you want to like sit down and bring out your sketchbook and relax and drink something warm and be comfortable. So if you love that and that sounds like something that you're interested in, then definitely be sure to check out her channel, which I have linked down below. And yeah, Kriksis, do you want to say anything? Welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much. I'm right with the compliments. It's too much. Hello everyone and welcome to this live stream. Sorry for waiting so long. It was actually mainly because of my part, and yeah, my camera stopped working, and I needed to with the help to reinvent new way how to show what I will be doing. So I hope everyone is doing all right. And yeah, I don't know how to live stream.
You're doing fantastic. You're doing really well. No, honestly, I'm really glad that you are
Okay.
here. And honestly, every time, and I was saying this, every time that I do a live stream, at least one technical thing goes wrong. So don't worry about it at all. As part of that, as part of this live stream, rather, Kriksis took some beautiful pictures that I'm going to share for you now. And we are going to use that as inspiration to just play around in our sketchbooks. They both have beautiful houses, they have some elements of greenery. And also, as you can see, I have neocolors, I have watercolors, I have gouache on the side. I don't quite know how I'm going to mix everything together, but my aim was to try. so so please join in if you have something and you're creating. If you have suggestions, if you're curious about a medium, then join in and ask us because I think it's going to be quite a lot of fun. I've linked the references down below in the description so that if you want to paint along or draw along, you can do that as well. But yeah, what is everybody doing? And let me see. Yeah, it looks like, oh, there's so many people. This is so cool. Honestly, thank you all so much for joining. Um, just replying to some of the comments that I could see from before. You can't add when you're on your mobile phone. You can add if you're on a laptop, and that will mean that it will show for the person more times than not. Moni, I would love to collaborate with you. I love your channel. I love your art. I love everything that you do. I'm so glad that all of you are here. Miss Ebony, I'm glad that work is finished. But yeah, it looks like a lot of people on here know the both of us, Kriksis. You see anyone that you recognize?
Yeah, I do. Hundrum Curiosities. I have seen her in my channel as well. A watercolor artist as well, and yeah, it's. I will try to keep up with the comments as well. It's really nice to see everyone. And I actually like for these sketches I can show quickly my sketchbook. I actually sketched them
Yeah, cool.
before because I didn't know that if you will do these ones or not because I sent like bunch of pictures to her and I wasn't sure like which one she will choose. So I actually this is like the sketch I sketched for the second image I guess, and this was the first one. But I will try
Yeah,
to
lovely.
use watercolors now. And I
What
have
did you
also
use
this
for
one, which
them?
is so I have like three sketches. So this
What
one
did you
is
use to create them?
so this is acrylic based markers and pencil, and this was gouache, like
Tell us one more time. Sorry, the
designer's
computer is
gouache.
being silly. So that's gouache.
Yeah, this is gouache, and it's kind of pre-mixed. And yeah, this is also gouache and markers.
That looks so nice. I don't even know what I'm going to, how I'm going to do it, to be perfectly honest. And now you're going to try and do the same thing or a similar thing, but using watercolors, or are you going to use mixed media as well?
Yeah, I think I will try. I think I will try watercolors. To be honest, I have like this watercolor block, and I think that's what I will do. I haven't like had a plan before, so it will be just freestyle kind of.
That's fun.
Um,
Sometimes that's how the best things work. Moni is saying that she absolutely loves your color palettes, that they are so nice.
thank you.
I love Moni in the chat. She's like, oh, she feels like she's hanging out with celebrities. And Aquarella with Blanca is also here. A watercolorist is here. Melissa is here. This is perfect. Danielle is here. I'm sorry. She's like, oh, we're starting right as she's about to go to bed. But you can watch it on the on the replay. I promise it will be as fun as when you, or almost as much fun as when you watch it live. And I'm glad that the sound and everything is working. Oh, hey, Victoria. Such a long time. It's nice to see you. Gorgeous muted colors. That's what Laura's talking about. Your art.
Everyone's like
We will
really
have fun.
sweet.
Thank you, Danielle. Oh, I love Aquarella. Aquarella with Blanca saying she's always here, loves to support her favorite artist. Very, very sweet. And in addition to that, we'll see. So I've put a Q&A. I've never tried doing a Q&A before. I've just left it there so that if people have questions, they can ask us. But what might be a little bit easier is if people have questions. Thank you, Laurie. They actually ask us in the chat and they just put question in caps. May just make life a little bit easier. What I'm going to do, which I tried yesterday because I was recording some videos for Ko-fi, is I did like a pen sketch first, and then after doing the pen sketch, you can't actually see what I'm doing. My bad, my fault. After doing the pen sketch,
Yeah, like very just green. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. I feel like my internet is like, what is going on? So after doing the pen sketch, I then tried to kind of do a painting. So I think I'll do a quick pen sketch and then get a rough idea of what I'm doing. And then after that, I will start mixing all these different things together. And
it's really like you have really expressive lines. I really like the lines. They're not like just the same line width. They're just like
thanks. As in like in the drawing. It's like though it's funny because I was watching the live stream that I think I'm going to I wanted to kind of combine the two. Maybe I'll combine the two, or maybe I think I'll do the forest one first and then we'll see. But yesterday Moni D Major and Creating Cute Art did a really cool live stream, and in there they were talking like all things fountain pens, and that I think was part of the reason that I felt really inspired to like just start using my fountain pen even more. Like I've been using it a bit, but not as much. I'm going to.
I like fountain pens, but I don't like that they're not light fast. At least like the ones I tried, they're not light fast at all.
I don't know. Is carbon ink light fast? Do you guys know? I thought carbon ink might be. I'm trying to open it. Oopsie! Almost dropped my everything. Always on a live stream.
Did you
almost dropped like all my pencils onto my
no.
vase that has my flowers. So let me just move everything into a less precarious position. But yeah, I thought carbon ink was quite good. My concern with the inks and fountain pens was that I wouldn't be able to that they would be it's all in Japanese. Forget it. I don't know. But this is the ink that I've put inside it. It's black. I honestly don't know if it's light fast.
Oh no, I think like, regular artist just replied. I think carbon ink is light fast. Carbon is light fast in watercolors. So maybe that is like the case as well.
Uh-huh.
And Snow's journal also said carbon ink should be light fast. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, watercolorist. That's because I got it because it's water resistant. So I would be able
Yes.
to like draw, I'd be able to paint on top of it. That was like my main concern. And I like the fact that you can, like you said, you can get like different line widths, which makes me think like, you can get so much interest when you're creating art. The only kind of drawback for me is that I find it a bit tedious to be filling it up with ink, and the idea of like running out of ink all the time is a little bit much. But other than that, I'm going to make the reference photo a bit smaller. Is anyone else like drawing along or painting or swatching or doing something else? We shall see.
Hello, Paolo.
Jennifer's
By the way,
saying that she's reading. No, go ahead.
No, I would just want to quickly show that I actually did light fast test on my fountain pen inks, and look, this is like how it looked before, and this is like, I don't know, 1 month in. It's pretty bad.
Just give me one
This is
moment and I'll
how
make your
they
screen
change.
bigger. Just
So
that's
this is like
insane.
how
If you
they
give me one
change.
moment, I'll make your screen bigger and then everyone will be able to see it a bit better.
Okay. It's
What
fine.
that's my screen. What was that? Is that with gouache? Is that
Fountain pen inks.
what's the one on the
So
what's the black one? That one looks a bit more promising.
this is
The yeah,
Noodler's Lexington Grey. Um, yeah, that is kind of okay. I mean,
but not
yeah.
that's quite drastic changes. The
And
green
it was,
completely disappeared.
I think like, yeah, these ones, these are troublemakers, and they're beautiful, but only like, I think in sketchbooks. Oh, they changed the color, I think in 2 days time, which is crazy. It's like it changed time like in such a short period of time. So okay, just one show, but yeah, that's why I'm like using it only for like sketchbooks now, because it's
Yeah.
maybe I should have on ink as well, like you do. So.
Yeah, I think the thing one of the things that I do that perhaps works or doesn't work is that I literally just want black, like because I'm just using it for outlines. I haven't yet got to the point where I am experimenting with all the beautiful inks. Like Moni and Creating Cute Art yesterday were just showing the most, shimmers, and I don't know if they're called like fluorescents, but just like all these beautiful inks, and even the inks that you have there. I almost thought they were like gouache or something because of how beautiful and vibrant they were before the light touched them.
Yes.
So I haven't quite yet got to the point where I am, experimenting with pretty inks. I'm just using it for outlines and the, I guess, flexibility of different line widths. I always feel like art with fountain pens just look a little bit more, I guess, illustrative and like playful.
Mm.
Can't quite
I
explain it.
mean, like it depends like what you do, like for the line work and just like black and white. Black ink is perfect. It's like, and it's like, yeah, that's all. Okay. Anyways,
No, it does. It does
moving on.
definitely. It does definitely depend. I have your screen as bigger, but as I do that, I'm also going to check on some of the comments. Paolo, hey Paolo, is helping us out. He says that there are some inks that are light fast. I guess perhaps they're not the majority. And then I'm curious to see what everyone is doing. Moni has swatched all her inks. Fair enough. And it's now recharging. Victoria's tidying up her kitchen. Uh, Laura is currently stuck under a cat, and I feel like anyone who has a cat would understand that. I've seen so many memes. Uh, Amy something is painting along. What are you painting, Amy? And struggling with gouache. um, and then Dana, welcome, Dana. Anna's painting pigeons. There's this other artist who is new, Sophia, who's like new to YouTube. She also painted. I don't like pigeons, I'm not going to lie, but I really did like her painting of it. I was like, oh, I should maybe try and paint animals one day. Um, are either of you using a food nib? No, the one that I'm using is the Lamy Safari, and it just has like a normal Lamy pen tip. It's
Do you
an
have
like a
fine?
fine tip. Yeah,
Mm.
it's just like a normal bog standard fine tip.
Yeah.
I do have like a food nib, but I haven't used it in a while. I think it's because when I first tried to use it, it felt a bit scratchy. I left it for a little bit. When I went back, the ink had like completely dried up, and I was like, "Ugh, this is so much longer than just using a micron." So I stopped.
Mm.
But then now I kind of want to bring it out again and try.
Yeah, I also
Uh,
have a Lamy Safari, but I also have a Kaweco Pebeo, I think, and
yeah.
Ferris wheel press, um, like super fancy one, but I bought it from eBay, like half of the price. So yeah.
I'm impressed. Every time I keep saying this, every time I look on eBay, I never find like any spectacular deals on any art supplies. I don't know why. Um, so I'm always
Mm.
like on the lookout, but I haven't. And I think before creating cute art, I hadn't even really heard of Coeco, and then I started seeing it quite a bit. Um, I can see the appeal. They do look beautiful, and inks are tempting. But she was teasing me, but it's true. I feel like I can't afford to fall in love with another medium. Like, let me just handle watercolor for now. And then at some point I will, delve into other mediums. As in, like, let me
I
handle
mean, like
watercolor. What?
yeah,
What were you
it's
saying?
hard to be like a mixed media artist because you want to try all the mediums at once, and yeah, it can get
I want to
quite
try.
pricey.
Definitely. Do you find that the art supplies that you got started changing or increased or decreased or any effect once you started a YouTube channel?
Mm, yeah, I mean, like I think I bought more art supplies when I started my YouTube channel. But that being said, before I worked in art supply store and I had like discounts, so I would every
Mm.
month spend a lot of money buying art supplies. So I guess like it's equal. Um,
That is for me. I think it honestly skyrocketed. Like,
it's
if there was a graph, it
scary.
would be like everything was going normal, and then something happened at this point, and then it just flames up. And I was like, the more I learned, the more I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I guess the more, yeah, like the more I wanted to try, and the more I was intrigued by.
Hmm.
And it's only more recently that I've like started using newer colors as well.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, like every single week, I see your community tag. This week there is like planners. What do you think? Would you like to get some?
Do you know what it is? Like anytime that they're talking like about acrylics or whatever, I'm like, oh, forget acrylics. But
Yes.
anytime that they're talking about watercolor, I'm like, oh, I should let everyone know because when I would buy stuff, I would buy during the sale, and it would kill me to like miss a good one. So like, I think almost every art supply I've bought has been on sale. And obviously, if that means that I'm buying art supplies I was going to buy anyway, then yeah, great, I'm saving money. If I'm buying art supplies I didn't need, then I'm not. But more times than not, I'm like waiting for sales, like a really good sale, before I end up buying something. So, so hence why every time that there's a sale, I'm like, hey guys, have you seen this?
Wait, I think like my screen is bigger. You should make your screen bigger. I think it's.
I think people see me create all the time.
So everyone can see your screen.
I've just done a sketch. I'll rotate it. Blanca's painting flowers at the moment. Laurie is painting bookmarks. And then Anita has a question. She's saying, Kriksis, I love your palette with the grays. Did you pick these colors out yourself, or is it a palette that you got?
The ones you can see on the screen. Oh, this one. Yeah, I picked it myself. It's well, it's kind of mix of things, but I am now using Wallis and Seymour vintage watercolors and Deep Light, which is handmade watercolors from Latvia, and I can actually tell which color is which. So there is Prussian Blue by and this is unboxing channel or like art haul. So on the left side, this is Prussian Blue. Then there is a Deep Light Gray Ochre, which is on the top. Then there is Slate Gray, which is on top middle. Then there is the Slate Gray is Deep Light. Then there is Wallis and Seymour Davies Gray on the right side, and these two lower ones, they are. So this is Lapis Lazuli by Deep Light, and this is Lapis Ashes by Wallis and Seymour. So kind of okay. I don't know if this is useful for someone, but thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. I really like picking colors and making color palettes.
Yeah, you've clearly got a really good eye for it. And you tend to arrange them by color, so you don't have like one palette with a different range. Like, I guess the one on the right is.
Well, like this is actually gouache. So this is gouache. I'm actually not using it. I thought I will use it, but I'm now just mainly using these. So you know what? Like speaking about like affiliate links and so on. I actually I saw the plenaire sale and I bought like the tin where to put watercolors. So I will put all of these in one place because I want
in a big
to have like one tin and that's it. So yeah.
No, fair enough. See, that's the thing. I was like, okay, just when I was contemplating, like, okay, I'm not going to, talk about the sales, then they do the plein air sale. And I'm like, well, that's a really good sale to like not talk about. I'm just like, am I really supposed to just like see this and ignore it and say nothing? So I couldn't help myself. And the thing is, I put up a reel or a short, I forget what they're called, but like I put up something on YouTube, a short, talking about basically I was going to buy some sketchbooks because we were talking about this yesterday, and I'm curious to know how many sketchbooks everyone has working in one go. But I tend to have like 6, 7 sketchbooks in one go because I'll have one for like landscapes, I'll have one for watercolor, I'll have one for sketches, I'll have one for like swatching, I'll have like, So I kind of wanted to get another one that I wanted to get an Etcher everyday one that would be for urban sketching because I don't have a cotton one for landscapes. I know it doesn't make sense, but in my head I was like, yeah, this is what I need to do. But I told myself that before I could do that, I would like tidy up my art studio. And honestly, like
so that's real. Go on. So that's real, yes. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually like, I don't know. I feel like on one hand, there's someone who's like been waiting for a plein air sale, in which case, yeah, fine, I'll let you know. On the other hand, if you're doing a no buy and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should break the no buy, should I do it? I also wanted to like encourage that person that sometimes like enough is enough. And really and truly, I don't need another sketchbook as much as I may want another sketchbook. So, so after anyway, I got so tired after tidying the my art studio that at the end I was like, oh, you know what, I'll wait. Like I don't actually need one. So I'm thinking that anytime I get the urge to buy something, I will like arrange those art supplies first so that so that I can exercise better self-control. But we'll
Yeah, I think
but
like that
we'll
is a good exercise. I think this reminds me also when I worked in an art supply store. I remember there were like, deliveries when you receive products and you need to put them in shelves. And
yeah.
every single time there was something like, this is really amazing, I should buy it. But I would like spend like 1 week working in the store and going like back and forth, should I need it or not? And then I don't
So I
buy it
don't
at all because I've seen
I
it
think
so much.
I think honestly, if I was in the store, I would have bought it. Like I don't even think I could have exercised that much self-control. But it was genuinely like, I don't know, like I'd walked in and I was like, oh well, I need to tidy stuff anyway. Before it wasn't like oh, I'm going to tidy and at the end of it I won't buy anything. It was like, oh, I need to tidy it. Let me tidy and get all that stuff done. And then I'll treat myself and get a sketchbook. And honestly, by the time I finished, I was like, this is unreal. Like I don't even know where I would put the sketchbook at the moment. But I'm just catching up on the chat to see. So Amy something says she's currently painting a wall of mirrors, which sounds incredibly challenging. um, but she's enjoying the challenge and she feels like she's not painting alone, which is so sweet. And who welcome Tracy. Don't worry about being late. We're planning on staying here for a little while and we are currently doing some paintings. I've linked the what do I want to say? I've linked Kriksis' YouTube channel down below, and I've also linked the reference photos that she took for us and shared so that we could paint along. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. There's so many new people, like new and familiar faces. Hey, Mrs. Z, you are welcome. Great ochre sounds so nice. So they're talking about your beautiful palette. Getting ready for the movies. Enjoy Humdrum Curiosities. And then we have a question for you, Kriksis, but let me catch up first and then I'll come back to the questions.
Okay.
The grades are awesome. They had the bag you showed in your setup. Do you mean my setup, Humdrum? You've got me beat with the sketchbooks. Yeah, I'm really curious to know how many sketchbooks everyone has working, like going at one go. How many do you have, Kriksis?
They are here, so I can just turn around. And
yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm working at 6 at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what do they tend to have?
Sorry?
What do they tend to have inside them?
So
Like, why are
one
they
is
different?
just personal projects, like I don't know, like where I'm designing like product ideas, or if I want to have like challenge, I kind of sketch and also think in the sketchbook, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a journal a little bit, but I draw there as well. And then there is like this one, which is actually here, which is sketchbook where I do map crunching, so drawing from pictures or kind of like life, and that is like the whole purpose of this sketchbook. I hope it's not lagging.
And
By
what
the
kind of
way.
sketchbook is that? Do you want to lift it up for us a little bit? Get a little sneak
Yeah,
peek of the sketchbook.
does it look blurry,
That's
or is it
beautiful.
just me? Thank you.
No, that's
I
lovely.
feel like the quality is not good of the camera, or is it all right?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a map crunch website. I will do sketchbook tour in the next week's video, so
Oh,
I
perfect.
will
So
not
we'll get to
share
see it.
everything. Yeah, but yeah, then I have like one sketchbook which is kind of like flowers, like flower girls and just flowers, and then one sketchbook is just one color, kind of not like black. I think the one color I picked was like dark green or something like that. So really
And the
interesting.
entire sketchbook is going to be monochromatic?
Yes, it is.
That's really cool.
Thank you. So yeah,
I
I
have,
mean, kind of like mix, I guess. But the most frequent one is personal projects. I just go
yeah.
there and
No,
yeah.
that's really cool. I hadn't thought of doing one like that's monochromatic. Like I said, I have one that's for flowers, one that's for painting like from life, like on holidays and
Mm.
things. One that's
Yes.
for like this one is like from painting from pictures, and like
Mhm.
the 10-hour challenge that I did last year with like Miranda Watson creating cute art and a number of other artists was in this sketchbook as well, and then a few other like sketches from life. And then I have one that I started that was like for portraits, and then I have this one that's literally just like a mess because it's an art creations one, so it's relatively cheap and it's
Mhm.
just been my like mess around sketchbook, so it's got everything inside it because I just felt in my head I feel like the sketchbooks each subject should have its own sketchbook, but then at the end of the day sometimes that feels really restrictive if you don't know what you want to create, or if you want to like
Mm.
travel and you want, like I
Yes.
can't be taking 5 sketchbooks to travel with me, although that's what I want to do. So that's why I was like, I need one mess around sketchbook that I can create everything in and not like worry so much about it.
Honestly,
Um,
that's a good idea. Kind of.
I'm trying my best. Um, and I'm looking at the comments as well. Moni says, I've been spending money on art supplies since 2016. I don't buy often, but when I do, I splurge. I know that feeling. I feel like I'm buying like is it little? I think like I'm buying a modest, modest. I'm buying often, like little and often, and then like I end up looking at my supplies and I'm like, how did I? Like I'll buy new color, like new colors here, and then pencils there, and then a palette here, and then a palette there, and I don't realize that I'm actually getting quite a lot of stuff as time is passing on.
Mm.
Um, but I have
That's
enough.
really interesting. I feel for me when I buy, I usually have like I put uh in a cart like art supplies I want to buy. I throughout the week I come back and say no, actually maybe I don't need it, and then I just end up with like things I need to refill, and
That's
I wait for some moment and then I buy something, and yeah.
I think honestly that's like the best way to go about it. When I was doing my no buy, that's essentially how like it worked. I would tell myself I wasn't allowed to buy anything, but I was allowed to like add it to wish list, for example, and wait and come back to it. Um, and a lot of the time that meant that by the time I come back to it, I'm like, oh, I don't actually need this, or oh, I can wait to get this and get it later. Um, Anita, is it? No, not Anita, my bad. Blanca has a question for you, Kriksis. She says, do you like
Yes.
opaque watercolors? She says she loves your soft and muted color choices.
Um, I mean, I don't know. Like, actually, this is like I started working with watercolors more only this year because my favorite medium has been acrylic based. No, acrylic gouache. Yeah, that's the name. Acrylic gouache. So, I mean, I'm only now discovering what I like in watercolors, and I think what I really enjoy is kind of vintagey watercolors or handmade watercolors, and watercolors that
Mm.
have like a little bit of grittiness and texture, kind of like little grains, and you feel like it's digged from the ground, like mud, and you paint with it. I think that's what I enjoy.
There's
It's
like
quite interesting.
there is a similar, I don't know if you've heard of, if I remember it, I'll find it, but there's like watercolors made by, I think, from soil. Don't know if that's the kind of watercolors that you would like then, because I haven't used them. Someone sent them to me on Instagram to like look at, and I think they have like that kind of grittiness that you describe. Is that what the deep light is like?
They're like the Wallis and Seymour I'm using. They are like some of the watercolors they have. They are literally digged from the ground, and
Mm.
kind of some of them are quarry or stone, and yeah, I think like the some of the names are even like mudstone and sandstone or some like yeah. It's really fascinating to me. And like for deep light, um,
Mm.
these are the handmade watercolors from Latvia, and it's actually my home country. And I
Oh,
know one of the owners, and it's just like it's really sweet what they're doing. And I remember when I worked in art supply store, she came once in a while, and we chatted a little bit. And it's really nice to see that she decided to like create this business, and I'm happy that they're doing all right. And yeah,
oh, that's so
I got like
wonderful.
yeah, so they sent me watercolors year and a half ago, but I wasn't into watercolors at that moment. So I feel like only now I'm doing justice to them by using them, because like
No,
art supplies which are not used, it's quite sad, right?
it's sad, I know. We were talking about how one of the, so I'm really enjoying doing live streams at the moment. I love having artists like you and like painting with you. I love just hanging out with everybody in the chat as well. I just find it a lot of fun. So I was thinking of like different series that I can do to go live. And one of them that we kind of spoke about was doing a series where we use our precious art supplies together to
Yes.
kind of like, get over that oh, I can't use it, it's too nice kind of feeling, which I tend to have
Mm,
quite a lot. Um,
yes.
because yeah, I think I saw them the deep light on your channel, and then I also saw them on Natasha Newton's channel, and I think she'd seen them from you. I was like, who? Where are these new watercolors from? But it's nice.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, it's actually like it's so interesting. Like the deep light business is doing much better because Natasha shared them, and yeah, they sold out actually of some colors, and I'm actually
Oh,
really happy that they sold out of some colors. That means
that's
they're
so
doing really
wonderful.
well. Yeah.
It's so funny because we were talking the other live stream, like I did a random live stream, I think it was the 4 hour one. And in it, we were kind of talking about the influence that YouTube has on art supplies. Like I was really wondering, like if we were to all on YouTube, not I'm not saying that we should, but I was just like curious, like if we were to all on YouTube go on like say a no buy or say, what would actually would all the art supply companies like get together and be like, something has happened, something has changed, all the sales have gone down, and we don't know why? Because I feel like I'm just curious to know, and it's so nice and sweet to hear that a small company can be changed in such a positive way by just getting some recognition through you and Natasha Newton as well. I'm sure they were like, wait, what's going all of a sudden? We're selling out of everything. What is going on?
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
I mean, there is like I kind of agree that there is kind of a part of influence. I don't know if you know Sandy Hester. She is
Yeah.
really great at like chatting about art supplies, and I actually ended up buying soft pastels because one of her videos was like so entertaining and like this is amazing and like wow, this is like amazing and these pigments and these colors, and I just like I went and just bought like pastels, and I never use pastels. So I actually and I haven't used a lot of them now, so I feel kind of guilty. So this was like totally influenced by her, and well, I want to get back to the pastels because I bought colors I would enjoy. But yeah, I agree that there is some kind of influence, and probably like in your videos there are people who say like, oh, I just bought it, or like you totally made me want to buy this, and
The thing is, I think I started getting that with, and I'm gonna get back to the chat. I'm sorry, guys, that we we take one
yeah,
question at a time, and then we're so engrossed in the topic. But it's really like good questions. But I kind of felt like that with the Roman Schmuel. Like I could see that. Oh, some people were like, "Oh my gosh, I bought them because you mentioned them." But I felt okay with that because honestly, I feel like I feel like you won't be disappointed by Romish Mall. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm happy to talk about them with passion because I love them, and I think they're so good quality. They are affordable that I can't really. The man who runs the company is really sweet. It's small business, and they're doing a lot of great things. Like I guess like deep, like it honestly feels like I can't say like I am happy to talk about them because I feel like even if people are influenced, they'll be influenced in a positive way. Like I feel like it will make
Mm.
everyone's life better. Not to say, and obviously this just stands on if you can afford it and if you want it, then fine. I don't believe that you need to spend a lot of money to buy expensive art supplies in order to create wonderful art. I think some of the best art sometimes is created with like inexpensive art supplies and just the passion and the will to actually use the supplies. Um, but yeah, sometimes I do get comments like that. They're like, "Oh, I got this because of you," and I'm like, "Oh, I hope." I'm always like, "Oh, I hope that you like them," but deep down, I'm like, "Of course you'll like them. The paints are awesome." But let me catch up on the comments as well and see. Oh yeah, but I don't think we are answered. Oh yeah, you told us what kind of watercolors you like. So not necessarily like not necessarily opaque ones, but gritty ones that feel like they've come from the earth. And let me
I
see if
think
anyone
there
has
was
any
one
questions.
comment about the
Mhm.
tints. Someone asked the question about the tints. These are from DD Plate. When they send you paint, they put them into tins. So these two are from DD Plate, and this is this is funny. This is like that.
Which one?
Wait, is it
Oh,
focusing?
freshmen.
It's quite funny. This was, I think, in Tiger or something like that. And here it says also, in this case, two are better than one, which is
Oh.
it can be true with that with these paints as well.
No, I was looking for tins as well, just because I think sometimes they're just such a nice and inexpensive way of carrying around watercolors. At the moment, I think at the moment I will probably end up sticking with the tins that normally come when you buy 12 watercolors. But
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a
Yes.
smaller one for like my pastels and everything. Like I thought it would just be nice to have everything in one place. But like I said, I'm trying as of yesterday to calm down on the spending a little bit. And we'll see how that goes. But that was Moni that was asking that. And then Mrs. Z saying she has little self control. You are in very good company. Dana scrolling through the Amazon wish list. I know that feeling as well. And Victoria saying that she loves going through her art supplies and just checking what she has before she buys them. And I think that is honestly such good practice sometimes
Yes,
because you end up
it is.
avoiding duplicates and getting and feeling more passionate about the supplies that you have more times than not. Moni's very nicely reminding everyone to hit the like button because she knows that I always forget. If you are enjoying this video, then please consider hitting the like button as it lets YouTube know that, live streams are fun and live streams are watched. um, and also, if you are enjoying it, don't forget to check out Kriksis' YouTube, which I have linked down below in the description as well. And then in answer to the question of how many sketchbooks people have going, Tracy has 5 going at the moment.
Five is a
Oh,
good
and
number, I think. If you work with several, five is a good number to have.
and Humdrum is saying that so the artboard that I tend to use to create art with is on sale at the moment, and I love using that artboard. And I've just recently got another like a similar one that I'll probably talk about in a future video. um, that I am going to compare. I'm kind of, or maybe I guess I can talk about it with you guys. I've got the Etcher Slate Mini like recently, and I haven't used it as of yet, like outside properly. My first thoughts are that it's very well made. I just don't know in comparison to like the weight is higher, like it's heavier than the other one. So I'm curious to see if the increase in weight is worth it, given the fact that the other one is lighter. Like I want to see if there's a clear difference or if actually you can get the 30 pound one and be fine rather than get the like I think it's 150 pounds one. Is there a difference? We'll see. Sarah Burns like has been using it, and I think that's part of the, talking of influence. That was part of the reason that I was like, oh, I really want to try this. I was like, oh, the sun is out. I'm gonna be painting outside. I'm gonna try it. But yeah, if not, if like that's not in the budget and you are going to be painting or drawing outside, like by all means, of course, you can use your lap. But then I think that the art board, which I can link down below as well, which I think is currently it's normally £30. It might be £27 now. I think that's a good number. Or you can use like foam board as well. It just depends on whether you want to DIY it or do it yourself. And then Melissa's asking how many sketchbooks we have in total versus how many are in use. And in total, I have a lot more.
Like,
A
you
lot
mean
more
in total, like all the finished ones?
unused. The unused ones as
Unused.
well. Mm.
Oh, again, I have them at there. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have, like, I don't buy now new ones. I'm just trying to use what I have because I also in one moment I had like a lot. So I guess like good tip is just look what you have, and you if you only really need to have like that specific, I don't know, paper or something. But in
Yeah.
general, it's great to use already what you have.
No, I I agree. And I think that was part of because the reason that I wanted to get those new sketchbooks was because I wanted the like cotton watercolor paper. That was literally I was like, oh, I don't have any cotton watercolor paper for my other art really. However, I've now just told
Yeah.
myself once I get close to finishing the art supplies that I have, then and only then can I maybe buy new ones. I don't know. I fluctuate. I'm not going to lie. Like I felt that way immediately after tidying my art studio, and yet in the evening I was back to looking at sketchbooks, and I was like, no, what are you doing? And I was like, of course you can't get it. And then in the morning, like fast forward 8 hours again, I was like, oh no, but of course I need sketchbooks. Like it's a struggle, not gonna lie. And I keep
Yes.
telling myself, oh, but once I get those two sketchbooks, then I won't need to get any more because I will have a, a type of sketchbook for everything I create. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. And Mrs. Z says that she loves your work, Chris.
Oh,
And
thank you. I keep on forgetting. Like, I'm not used to live stream. I need to like. I keep on like forgetting, and then I check the comments a little bit later.
no,
But
don't worry. You go ahead and you go ahead and paint, and I will like be checking the comments on and off because I think
oh no, I
that
should also like check comments one because like the I'm using watercolor and I need for layers to dry before I paint the next one.
and it's so funny. Tracy, who's saying that she loves the idea of a monochromatic sketchbook, and Humdrum Curiosities, who clearly knows me so well, says like, and now a monochromatic sketchbook is going to be added to sketches list, and that is very accurate. Like, I definitely like the idea
Yes.
of just having a sketchbook that has one color. Like, it will look so cohesive. Like, it will just be so beautiful. So yeah, one of the many empty sketchbooks will be dedicated to that. Oh, a watercolorist says that they're currently working on creating art on single sheets and then binding them afterwards. I think that's
Oh
a good
wow.
idea. Depending on the art. I feel like the art that I've created in single pieces, I don't know if I would want them bound. They almost feel like finished pieces. Does that make sense? But that being said, it may make things a little bit less pressure because I think sometimes there can be a pressure associated with creating art in a sketchbook because you don't want to ruin the entire sketchbook. Whereas if you can control exactly what pages go in, then perhaps it's a bit more freeing. And then Tracy's asked if anyone makes their own sketchbooks. Mrs. Z makes some. We now know a watercolorist makes some as well. And I'm going to read the comments, but as I do, sorry, if anyone has like a question for me or Kriksis, then let us know by putting like question in caps beforehand so that I can see it in the chat. And if I happen to have missed a question, then please just write it again, just because talking, listening, typing, painting,
And drawing or painting
and
too.
it's it's quite a lot. So please forgive me if I happen to have missed something. Um,
Yeah, it's indeed multitasking, so it's a lot.
hmm, it's
But
rewarding, but
yeah,
it is a lot.
like speaking about the sketchbooks, I feel like there is like I said, like if you use what you have. That being said, I just bought like like a new paper, but I guess it's not a sketchbook, so I bought loot papers, and like you try to like justify your purchase. So I
Yeah,
really wanted to buy more professional watercolor paper, and this plein air sale, I was like, okay, so there's like discount, and I would love to
yeah.
try more like professional hot press paper, and I bought like art just for the first time, so it's like it's quite expensive paper, but I feel like for watercolors, paper is really important.
Yeah,
Uh,
paper is king. As
I
much as
think
I
like
try to like fight
yeah,
it,
even like
paper is really mm, paper's like really make or break, I find. And Aquarella is thanking you for your art. She says your art is very whimsical. I agree. And a watercolorist, yes, you're right. So I was talking about not the earth pigments per se, but I think you might be right, like colors of earth or paints of the earth, something like that. But they like, or soil of earth. I can't quite remember, but someone sent it to me, and I guess the unique aspect of it is that the paints are all made from like soil and different like elements. Not just it's
that's
not
just
just the natural pigments. If I see it, I'll find it. The reason I didn't I like quite high tinted. I, I like colors like the quinacridons, the phalos, like really bright, punchy, very different color palettes to Kriksis, basically, which is why, although I thought that the premise was interesting, the colors that this company, I think is Soil, I can't remember, the company that I'm referring to that uses soil to make art, the colors were just a little bit low tinting, a bit too low
hmm
tinting for me, which is why
yeah, I see what
I
you
didn't
mean.
find. Melissa's saying let's do a group no buy. I would. Well, I don't know if I could do it. I fluctuate so quick. The past 2 days alone, I have gone on Jackson's and come off and gone on and come off and gone on and come off. I even contemplated like just going into London to go to the store because I realized that um like with the delivery times, by the time that it would be able to get to me, I wouldn't be home and I wouldn't be able to pick it up. So I was like, oh, maybe I don't know. But I'm contemplating. I'm so close to doing a no buy. So close. Krixis, I think your phone has like gone off for a second.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. I think it's is it?
No worries.
Oh wait, I think
Is
it's
it back?
no, just a second. Just like a technical difficulty, I need to add the camera, the back camera.
No problem.
Uh,
I will. I'll give you a moment to do that so I can see you, okay? And obviously you can hear me, but you're not on the stream, so just take your time and let me know by waving across the screen once you're ready, and I will add you. Um. Oh, are you back? I can see. Yes, you're back. Okay, perfect. I'll add you back. What are the color sticks that I'm using? So the colors that I have on the side are these are the Neo Color 2s. Talking about how much. Also, Tracy, who would be like, oh, a hoarder. I completely understand. So these are the Neo Color 2s, which are wax crayons that are water soluble. I haven't started using them as of yet. So I used them when I did like this painting. I guess does it count as painting? So I did like watercolor first, and then I added the Neo Color 2s. But I haven't used them in this bit yet. I've just used watercolor for now. But the paints that I'm using at the moment are oops, let me mute you. Are Remishmore Remishmore watercolors. Miss Ebony, that's honestly how I feel. I don't think I could do it. I would want to, I would try. I don't know. I did it for 4 months. I couldn't do it for like a year. I feel like I could do it if there was no set time, like a take it a day by day kind of thing, and then see how it goes. I feel like that would perhaps help me a little bit. And then Mrs. E is asking a question, I guess to us, to the group, to everybody, like how do you decide what you want to paint when you sit down to do it? How do you decide? Like how do you draw inspirations, Kriksis?
I mean, usually when I have ideas, I just write them down, and when I just end up opening sketchbook page and think what to draw, I just refer to what I thought about before. So I usually have already like kind of idea I want to make, because like when you create art, I don't know, is it like, I guess every time is different, but sometimes when I create art, I already have like another idea for the next next project, so I kind of keep that idea and just use it next time. And
So as
if
in
I
like
don't
ideas come to
know,
you?
yeah, I mean, like if I don't know what to draw, I draw like map crunching and kind of like from references.
You
But
draw what, sorry?
yeah, usually like reference, like
Mm.
map crunching, like from Google views, or
Mm.
look at my old work and kind of continue the idea I started. And yeah,
No,
sorry,
that
it's
makes
really hard like to chat and draw at the same time. I'm like, uh,
but you're doing it so well.
I keep on
But
forgetting that we are live. uh,
that's good. That's good. I think that makes it perhaps a little bit like it depends, right? But it can make it a little bit more enjoyable. Bye, watercolorist. Thank you so much for joining. And I
no,
will see
bye.
you on the next live stream. But yeah, I hope that helps, Mrs. Z. I think for me, I do a similar thing in that sometimes like sometimes if I feel like inspired or if I take a picture that I really like, I will save it in a like in a folder that's literally called like inspiration folder. And um I have quite a few just because I keep forgetting that I have them. But yeah, so basically I have like some on my phone, some on my laptop. And the premise is that basically when I feel inspired, I add it. And when I am trying to decide what to create, especially if I have like absolutely no idea, then I will look back inside the folder and inevitably it's just a collection of things that I find very interesting or that I really like. And because it's like growing with time, I usually tend to find something that I want to do. Or like you said, sometimes if I see something, um, like say for example with your idea of a monochromatic book, I may like write that idea down so that if I don't necessarily want to see a reference but I need like inspiration in the form of like something like an idea to do, then I will look at
Yeah,
that list as well. And I think for Kofi I do a monthly art challenge, and in part that was to help with that, just to keep me keep me inspired and keep me trying like new and different things. Um, so that's pretty much what's been helping me to decide. And then sometimes like if I really don't know, then one of the things that we did last month was like almost like reverse coloring. So sometimes now I guess more so I'll just do something abstract, like I'll literally put pen to paper. Or if it's feeling a little bit more like art block-esque, like I really don't know what to create, then I will swatch. Like I will just start messing around with colors just so that I'm actually doing something creative um that isn't like creating any stress or confusing me on what to actually create. Um, but I am looking, I keep breaking my no buy, but I love mixed media. There's always something new and interesting to try. That's literally how we feel as well. I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to do the blow dryer to dry this layer.
Okay, so I can
But
take her. I so I actually saw Snow's journal. You mentioned about the no buy as well. Wait, where is your comment? I was going to find it. Oh, so many comments now. I keep breaking my no buy, but I love mixed media, so there's always something new and interesting to try. Honestly, Snow's journal. I was checking your Instagram stories today, and you showed pen pastels, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. So yeah, I completely understand. Especially like working with mixed media, there's always like the new thing you can like combine with your current art supplies. So yeah, I completely understand your situation. Um, okay, I'm also catching up with messages, trying to take over. So I'm just gonna scroll down. So okay.
and I'm done drying.
Okay. I'm trying to read the comments, but I think like there are conversations in between. Oh yeah, pen pastels are great. No regrets. Honestly, I feel like they're easier to use than just soft pastels because they're like chunky and they can scrape a little bit. And I feel like if it's like contained in like the small container, and you use instead of like your fingers, you use like this tiny like kind of like how do you call it?
Like a
Almost
cotton
like
bud.
from makeup, yeah, like a cotton
Yeah.
bud, and just like I feel it's less messy, and I think that could be something I would put in my cart in the future as well. I think like Snow's journal, you mentioned that you actually want to film video about them, so I'm really curious to see it as well.
To see
Oh,
what?
to see like the review of pen pastels.
Ah, yeah, I haven't used them. I've seen like I feel like I've seen artists that perhaps do color pencil work. I've seen them use like the pan pastels as a way to do the first layer, I guess, and get rid of the white, and then go back over it with the pencils and make it look super realistic. So that was really interesting to see. Um,
Hmm.
but other than that, I haven't seen them, and honestly, I just don't know if I can take like I just don't
Take
want to
it
fall
in.
in love with any more art supplies.
Okay.
I just need some time. I just need some time. And then Moni was saying, like, suggesting in terms of like no buy. She was like, "Oh, what if we just don't buy for ourselves, but buy from others?" And honestly, with the I feel like that's part of the reason, like with Kofi, why I keep doing Happy Mail because like I love like I love buying art supplies, and that is the same or maybe a bit more if I'm buying it for myself. But equally, there's a lot of joy that comes from buying art supplies for others. So, which is why it's not one of the rewards, but every so often I'm like, you know what would be great? If I do some happy mail for someone, that's what I'm going to do. And I've sent it out. I'm super proud that I got it all done in time. Um, and it should hopefully, whoops,
Oh, your camera.
it should hopefully, am I back? Yes. So it should hopefully I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, it should arrive soon because I've bought it already. I've sent everything out basically. um but how are you finding and guys, if you have questions, obviously let us know. Put a big question in caps at the beginning. Don't forget to hit the like button, and to check out
And
Krixis's channel.
if you are not subscribed to Sketches.n.Scrubs, I don't know why. Please subscribe to her. I was going to say last time, but you immediately started chatting more, and I was like, next time. But yeah, subscribe to Sketches.n.Scrubs as well.
Oh, thank you. I always forget to like ask for likes. I forget to ask for subscribes, or at least I feel like I'm forgetting to ask. Um, and but it's funny because I put up a. I love asking questions in the community poll. Like I just find it super fun, and I tend to have like a lot of questions in my head. And there's just something so nice about having an art community that you can actually ask all these questions to. So
Mm.
I asked randomly, like, are you subscribed to my channel? Because, and you would think like the community tab, I
Yes.
believe, gets shown to the people who are most engaged with your channel. Like the community tabs that I see pop up tend to be the ones, of channels that I tend to see, whether it be you or Moni D Major or Creating Cute Art or like whoever I tend to watch most or I tend to comment on most. I see the community tab. I've rarely, if ever, seen a community tab of someone like I haven't followed or I haven't watched or
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't
I
tend
have
to.
seen a lot which I don't follow. They just pop in. I
Really?
think YouTube recommends some people who are kind of in the same interest area, but they are not subscribed.
Okay, maybe that's why.
So
Because
when you
I
asked, I ticked that I am subscribed, but I saw that there are some people who are not subscribed, and I was like, probably like these are the people who are just being like recommended this post. It's
yeah,
not like
I saw
I
it.
watch you, but I don't subscribe you. I think it's just like,
I know I was confused. I was like, because I think quite a few people, the majority, the vast, like over 90% said yes, like I'm subscribed. But then
yes,
some people said like, whoops, I'm not subscribed, but I will. Like I hadn't noticed. And some people were like, no. And I was like, what? There were literally people that I thought that would be people who engage with my stuff, but
yes.
like don't subscribe. I'm like, why wouldn't you subscribe to my channel? I work so hard. YouTube videos are so hard. um, but it was just interesting to see. But yeah, thank you for for reminding people to subscribe to both our channels because I think that's one of the things that I love about YouTube and art YouTube, that there's so many different creators and the arts are all different, and there's more than enough space for everyone to
Mm.
create. And I think that's part of the reason that I'm really enjoying getting to paint with different artists on live stream because we all get to meet new artists. Um, and I am checking.
Oh, oh, Laura just said she subscribed to Snow Journal. That's really amazing. Look, community not only chatting with us, that there are like artists who support each other, but
Exactly.
also in comments, like true example, Laura and Snow Journal chatting. Um, oh, and
Yeah.
Gracie is too. And that's thank you so much. That's so sweet. Yeah, I feel like there is like, what is the point of competition? And
I agree.
yeah, I mean, I
I
really
Yeah.
enjoy chatting with. I think we should make a collab as well in video form. I didn't reply to you because I was like focusing on live stream, but we should make a video together as well.
Yeah, I would honestly be up for that. I think it's all one of the things that I've loved about YouTube is like the community aspect. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like we have a pretty amazing community on YouTube in terms of like subscribers and like comments and kind of conversations in the chat, and seeing familiar names and getting together, painting, drawing, supporting ourselves through our no buy or through our art supply addiction, like whatever it may be. I feel like we have quite an awesome art supply community, art supply, art community. And I kind of wanted to extend that beyond that. Like I also thought, oh my gosh, I love watching Kriksis. I love watching Money D Major. I love watching Sarah Burns. I love watching so many different artists. And I would love the idea of painting together. Why don't we do it? And that's why I started asking people to paint. And I was so nervous. I thought people would say no. And I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna think I'm weird. But so far it's been amazing. Like everyone said yes, and it's just been really amazing. And I'm reading, Victoria asked a really good question, which Creating Cute Art had asked me in the past as well. And I was going to make a video on it. And it's essentially the premise that if you lost or didn't have any of your art supplies and you had to, the way that Creating Cute Art asked me is that, and you had to like rebuy them, but you could only rebuy 10 art supplies, which 10 would you buy? which is
10
perhaps hard to
art
like
supplies
answer
of
live.
like color or
No,
medium.
I think like individual colors would be so hard because then you'd end up with like 8 watercolors, one brush, and one pad of paper. I think that would be, but like say this palette, this sketchbook, this. So 10 might be a lot, but so that's
Okay. I okay, like so like I would definitely get like pencil, eraser, brush, paint palette. So these are already like 4.
But
Um,
which paints would you get?
uh, I would get Holbein acrylic gouache.
Mhm.
Um, I think I use like Turner and Holbein acrylic gouache similar, but I think I would get Holbein. So that one, I think I would in this moment I would get also watercolors. I'm just like trying to think which brand. This is like such a tricky question. Okay, so I will get Wallis and Seymour watercolors. I will get Holbein acrylic gouache. I will get
Which
pencils,
watercolors? I missed that.
Wallis
Which
and
watercolors?
Seymour.
Oh
Wallis
yeah.
and Seymour. So on the pencils, I will get Derwent drawing because they are really beautiful muted colors. And okay, so these are like 3 already. I mean like acrylic markers. I would get acrylic markers, Malato acrylic markers because they can be refilled. So I can just refill them and then mix my own colors as well with them. Um, and then yeah, and then like together with all the. This is such a tricky question, but yeah, I
It
mean,
is. I'm impressed
I
that
think
you've
like
managed to
neo
answer so
colors.
many.
Yeah, I mean neo colors would go there as well because I like sometimes to finish my painting with neo colors. And yeah, pencil and eraser and paint palette and brush is a must as well. So yeah, I think like that's are there 10? I don't know.
They're
Something
the
like that.
essentials. So
What
for
about
me, it's a tricky question. I feel like if I had to start over again, what's my paintbrush? I would I would get Romish. So if I can do it by brand, I would get Romish Mall watercolors. I would get Daniel
you? Yes,
Smith watercolors. I would get
yes.
mm, in terms of sketchbooks would be tricky. I think sketchbooks wise. So my thing is, I like the Etcher everyday sketchbooks, and they're okay. If money wasn't an object, right, then I would get the
Yes.
Etcher signature series sketchbooks. So they have Fabriano paper. The cover is nice. Like I would get those if I could get free lifetime supply. If I had to rebuy it every time, then I would get the everyday sketchbook and like stick something like a faux leather cover over the top so that so that I like it. Um, and so that's sketch, paper. I would also get, in terms of paper.
Wait, I didn't talk about paper. I would have no place where I should. Okay, go on. I was like, how did I forget the paper? But okay,
No,
go on.
what paper would you get? Like what sketchbooks or paper or?
Um, I would get Moleskine sketchbook, and
Mm.
I actually like it depends on medium. I guess I would get mixed medium paper, so it would work with several. Um, I don't know the name of. There's like one paper which I use for illustrations. I will come back to it. You should chat more about the colors. I just interrupted you with the paper
Yeah, you look so shocked. You're like,
comment.
wait, paper. Um, but I think I would get Romish Moore, Daniel Smith. I would get the Etcher sketchbooks, whether they be the everyday sketchbook if that's in my budget. If money was no object, then it would be the portrait signature ones. I would also probably get like loose, like either loose sheets or like I would get some form of 100% cotton paper. I don't really mind which one, whether it be Bao Hong, Saunders, or Fabriano. I haven't tried Arches,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I can like attest to. I'm sure that it's great. I haven't tried it. Um, so that's four. Then in terms of like brushes, indifferent about. So I would I like the silver black velvet. Like it's not bad, but I'm not like a big brush person. So I think any brush would do. Like whether it be the silver black velvet or the Aqua Elite by like Princeton Aqua Elite, I think it's called, or whether it's the Rosemary and Co brushes. Any of the brushes, those three, I'd be happy with. And I'd like the Neocolor twos. Started using them just now, but I do like them. Winsor and Newton gouache. I think that I would be like content with that. Does that make sense? It's hard, but I think I would be,
Yeah.
if I had to restart, I would restart with those. And I think I'd be pretty happy with that. Um, and I
I
am
feel
going to
like
type
this question is like for 2 hours. So try to answer quickly. That could be like discussion for like whole episode.
for everyone. And because and what pay you said moleskin is what you would get. See, I like moleskin,
Sketchbook, I guess.
yeah, as a
Not like
sketchbook.
yes.
I like them. The only thing is with the that I found I was having with the moleskin is that sometimes it's just like it's almost like there's something funny with the sizing in terms of like when I try and do watercolor paintings on them, it just looks a little bit funny. I haven't had any issues like using gouache on them, so I think they would be fine for that. But I feel like I would be sad if the only sketchbook I could use would be a sketchbook that I would not be able to do watercolors on. Like I don't know if the watercolors are going to look great or if they're going to look wild. Like the lack of control from that aspect would be a bit much. But otherwise, like I like the sketchbooks, and when there is no issue with the sizing and with the paper, I'm really happy with it. I really like it. But otherwise, sometimes it just acts really funny with me. I don't know why. Which is the only reason I think why I wouldn't have picked it, and why I would have picked the Etcher, because they have um like the texture is not that much, so you can draw on it and you can paint on it. Like it's not super rough. But this that I'm using here is the sea white, which I like. Oh, and the other thing is that I only like portrait sketchbooks primarily. As you can see now, like even now I'm using a horizontal sketchbook or landscape sketchbook, but I'm using it in portrait format.
Yes.
Uh,
I think I will just leave it dry and
everyone,
then draw something else.
it's looking
It takes a
amazing. I
lot of
can't believe
time.
how quickly. Hmm?
That's quickly. I mean, like
I
I feel
think
like
so.
it's been. Okay. I don't know how long
I
are
think
we live.
we've been live for an hour and 17 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I think it
Okay.
depends, because if I compare, yesterday I did a similar types of paintings, and they took me 15 minutes each. But I think there's something about being live that just makes it harder, right? Because you're talking, you're reading, you're
It's
scrolling,
long.
you're typing, you're doing a lot of stuff. So naturally, the painting bit gets a bit slower. And I mean, I think it depends. Like there is the option of like painting and just focusing on painting and not talking to anyone. And sometimes like people do that, and that also works. But I feel like there is a good balance to be had between doing both.
Yes. Completely agree. And I feel it's such a great way to like interact. I'm not that great like you
No,
are
you're
with the comments, but I read them, like I sketch, I listen to you, and then I see the comments popping in.
you're
I,
honestly
I
you're
see
doing amazing.
I see the Patricia page is she said, I absolutely love the reference pictures. Thank you so much. I took them in Cornwall in UK because I live
Yeah.
in this area, and one is near Helford Passage and the other one is near Saint Anthony, if anyone is wondering. Um, Yeah, and the second image, I don't know which one is like in which order, but the second image is like I took it in low tide, but there's like visible kind of line where the water is going up, like where it will be going up.
The one with the
I
White
don't know.
House.
Where there are several white houses, you can see the kind of black line,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
where the
yeah.
water is going up. So it's just the picture is taken in low tide. Just if I would take it in high tide, like high tide is that the name?
Yeah.
Then the view would be completely different. Um,
I really
yeah,
want to go to Cornwall one day because it just feels like such a beautiful place that isn't too far, but it's always like so expensive in the summer. As in, like it's cheaper for me to go to Italy than it is for me to go to Cornwall during the summer. that's how
yeah.
that's how hard it is to find. So like by the time I add trains and like hotels and everything, but it is like definitely a place that I would. It just looks like full of inspiration. That's it looks stunning. And I know sometimes like you share some of the area that you're in as well. And again, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I just need to go and visit.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think Melissa just said Kriksis not know how long you live stream. Actually, I just noticed that there is a red button called live, and there's like exact time in the. I didn't like pay attention, and like honestly, we've been like because we had like technical problems. Like first 50 minutes, we were just trying to solve the issues. So I would say we're live longer, but we are not really live longer. But yeah,
No,
I
no.
can
Well,
see
yeah, it's true. We were trying
the
to sort it out for 45 minutes. So really and truly, from our perspective and from everyone who's like been, in the chat since the beginning, it's been 2 hours. Which is why it feels like a little bit longer. That
yeah.
being said, let me add some more. I always find it like difficult to add. When like when there are like loads of tree branches, I never fully know how to like
Yeah.
depict that clearly. Like I feel like if there's foliage, then fine, but if not, then I really struggle to have that in the painting.
Should we like? I mean, like, should we put one more image like from the forest scenes and try to depict
Oh,
like the
as in
and
like to add
share?
it.
Yeah, to add it like as an extra. Oh, like for example, this one. Wait,
Can
how
you
can I share?
you have a button that says present? I don't actually know if you can share.
Oh yeah, I guess slides.
Yeah. You can present slides if it's PDF. If it's not a PDF, can you save the image as a PDF? If it's not a PDF, I don't know how to do it. I think it is the
Wait,
crux of it.
I think I can manage to do it. I would actually love to like do because I already sketched the second image as well. I would love to
Mm.
sketch something else. Okay, just a second. Oh, I like this one.
No worries. As you do that,
Okay.
Ebony is asking if so. Yes, Miss Ebony. The sketchbook paper in the Etcher signature series sketchbook. So not I don't know if it's the everyday. I think it's the signature series sketchbook specifically. If someone knows about the perfect sketchbook, then let me know. But they have the Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper that's 300 GSM, and in addition to that, it has like beautiful deckled edges. It's like beautiful. So I think that's the sketchbook that I would go for if obviously like money was no object, because then I get like really lovely paper in a really nice case. Let me know when it's added, Kriksis, and I will add you.
Okay.
Or if not, if you
I can,
send it.
no, it's all right. I think I can manage to do it.
Okay. As you do that, I will catch
I'm
up.
just
I
gonna
only use
zone out a little bit. Yes,
Yeah, no, I agree. I
you need
think if you find a
that.
paper that you like, you should just go for it.
Sorry.
Oh,
So you need
whoops.
PDF.
Yeah, it needs to be a PDF in order for you to share it as a slide. Thank
Okay.
you for the heads up, Manny. I've moved my microphone now, so it shouldn't be like wiggling or causing any issues anymore. You're still figuring out. So yeah, I also think that it's fine to so I think quite a few people are talking about the paper. And for me, from my perspective, I think that um it's good to use whatever paper you can afford, whether it's that you're new to it or that you're figuring it out or that you don't know if you will enjoy it, so you're trying to like figure that out before you invest in it. And I think that also like cellulose paper gets a bad rep. And I don't think that cellulose paper itself is um inherently bad for watercolor. I don't think, perhaps contrary to popular opinion, that everybody should use 100% cotton watercolor paper when creating art. I think it very much depends on what art you're creating and what kind of effects you're going for, what kind of um yeah, like basically how you're using the watercolor. So I think if you enjoy like layering and you want like soft transitions, and you're kind of looking for those kind of effects, then cotton watercolor paper will be amazing for you, right? Like it handles layers beautifully. The colors are also stunning. The transitions are nice. You don't get like blooms when you don't want to, like unless you're quite deliberate about it. So I think from that perspective, then yes, cotton paper will make your life easier. And if you're following a tutorial of someone who's using cotton paper and you find that actually your results are completely different to their results, then it might be because of the paper. If, however, you like a looser style of, or a more abstract style, shall I say, of watercolors, if you like getting blooms and you like having hard edges and you like different textures and you want the watercolor to be like as bright and vibrant as possible, then cellulose paper might be for you. So again, I think it just really depends on what you are going for as to what paper would help and what paper would be best suited, because there are some professionals that will use cellulose and some professionals that will use 100% cotton. And I think that's where it stands. And for me, because from the beginning I've been saying that I don't like blooms, I'm not looking for those kind of like interesting textures in my art. So then for me, when I tried cotton, I was like, oh my gosh, you mean I don't have to struggle to avoid those textures all the time? It can just happen. That's why I'm like a big fan of it. Did you manage to add it? Was it okay?
It's uploading, but it's
Oh,
only
okay.
1/4 of the way. It's super slowly
Okay.
uploading. Maybe it's my internet. I don't know. It should take like 5 more minutes, I think, to upload it. Um, yeah. Should should I send this to you, or should you
Yeah, if you want
wait?
to send it to me on Instagram, then I should be able to upload it. But if it's uploading, then it will take the same time for me as it would for you.
Okay, I think it's fine. I started sketching from the reference already, but it'll be soon available for everyone. It takes time. I just thought it would be interesting to study a little bit more trees as well.
Yeah, I think so. Because for me, initially, I was doing the like individual tree branches, but in the end, I realized I don't know, I don't like it as much. So I've added some foliage. I could not help myself to the painting, but now I almost feel like I obscured the sky a little bit. So we'll see how that looks. And just in case anyone's like curious, I started off with watercolor. And then I started adding like some neocolor twos, but then in retrospect, I was like, I wanted to like block in with gouache first and then leave the Neocolor 2s for the last bit because I kind of like the texture that I'm getting and I didn't want to like go over all of it. And as you know, Neocolor 2s are, or you may not know, are water soluble. So you have the option of leaving it like with that waxy crayon texture or adding water and kind of dissolving that and turning it into something that's pretty watercolor-esque. And it depends how you use it. I find more recently that I've started like really liking leaving the texture. So I've actually started looking at Neocolor ones, which are not the water soluble ones as well.
Yes.
Just to see. Which ones do you tend to use, or how do you like when you're doing mixed media work that has multiple layers? How do you like work through your layering process? Or do you have a
Actually, I
layer?
have Neo. Yeah, I have. I start with wet mediums and then I put drier on top. But I feel with the Neo colors, I have only Neo color 2, and although they're water soluble, I almost never use them. Like, I don't remember even like one case when I used them for like final art. If I did, I kind of put more like texture on top because I really enjoy the texture that they have.
Yeah.
And I feel they're really great with like
Yeah, no,
for example, do like acrylic paint or gouache, and then you just kind of put on top. And
I think that's because yesterday was kind of the first time that I had tried to like use them and layer them with other things. So initially I like used them and then diluted them in water and I was like, okay, cool. But then it's almost like I could just use watercolor then. Like one of the things that I like most about the Neocolor 2s, like you said, is the texture that you can get sometimes and like the cool effects. And I feel like it's made my art look a little bit more
yes,
illustrative, like it feels like it's from a storybook or something. So that's why, like, in retrospect, I've now started layering on top. So then I was like, well, actually, if they don't need to be water soluble, then I can just use the Neocolor ones.
yes. Well, you can still like always use Neo color 2, just without using
Yeah.
the water. But,
Yeah, no, that's true.
I was thinking like I should get like one, but honestly, I can just it's to not like buy more art supplies. You can use
And
the
also, your
Neocolor.
phone has disappeared for a second.
Oh really? Oh no.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, just for a second. And as you do that, I'll show just, hey, Sarah, welcome. Um, my screen looks so chaotic, but just to clarify, as we like sort that out, I have, so these are my Neocolor 2, so they are like water soluble crayons. Here I have my Roman Schmall watercolors. This is my Winsor & Newton gouache in my Stay Wet palette, and this is my Lamy pen. And I use the Lamy pen to do like this sketch here. Part of me wants to paint over it. We'll see. I know that the carbon ink is not waterproof, but like water resistant. But I still feel like it leaves a little bit of residue. So I don't know. We'll see. The other thing, someone asked, what markers are you using? You're covering so much area with those markers, Kriksis.
Yeah, I decided to cover everything and then work on top. So I'm using acrylic paint markers, and this is actually Posca, and these are Molotov, but I made my own color using refills, and
That's
yeah,
clever.
they're kind of unique colors, but super quick medium to use. I really want to work on this sketch super quickly, and yeah, that's why I pulled them on just to like kind of be a little bit free, because I feel like this watercolor painting which I did, it's like more
It's so
slower.
nice.
So I'm just leaving it to dry. It's yeah, so I can work on the next thing, and then maybe I will come back to that one. It's just like on the side for now.
No, and what like sketchbook are you using? Because I find that sometimes Poscas are a bit aggressive on the paper.
So actually, I'm using paper, which is probably not the best for the markers, but
Mm.
I'm kind of trying to not press it too hard so it doesn't like scratch the paper too much.
Yeah, like Catherine.
But yeah, I'm using this is a peat supply. Um,
Oh yes, they've recently come onto Jackson's and Casa. I feel like I know too much about art stores, but yeah, I've just seen them.
but this is I think like I also checked the Jacksons, but they don't have this particular. This is
Oh,
called Yuzu, but they have just Yuzu. But this is Yuzu Flex, which the cover is kind of soft, like bendy.
okay.
But yes, I feel like honestly I wouldn't recommend this paper for what I'm doing. But
Mm.
like it's not the best, but I kind of enjoy that it's super thin because honestly, it feels it's smooth, but it's like 120 grams or something.
And
But
is
I'm
it a
using it.
sketchbook or is it a? So it is a sketchbook, yeah.
Yeah, it's sketchbook. It's and I like that it's like lay flat. It's just like
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
perfect
that's lovely.
for sketching like the bigger areas. But yeah, this
Yeah,
is like my timed sketchbook, so I need to work quickly on this one.
that makes. I like the concepts that you have given, like your sketchbooks, monochromatic, timed. Like, I like.
It's more fun, honestly. It's
No,
like
I agree. I definitely feel like I need to add a monochromatic sketchbook to my array. And by that, I mean use one of many sketchbooks that I already have and then dedicate that to a particular color or maybe like a particular color palette, like a limited color palette, and just see what I can do with. Oh, or maybe one that's monochromatic and another one that's like only three colors. And that will really give me the ability to, I guess, work on color mixing a little bit more and then like see the drastic changes in the art through the book. Guys, is that not an amazing idea?
it is, but I'm really looking forward if you will do the monochromatic. I would love to see it.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what color because in I was thinking about Payne's Gray, but I don't know if that would be um I feel I love Payne's Gray, but then I don't know if that would be like just looking at a black and white. Like I don't know if that would be necessarily the most interesting color to look at. I feel like I could use purple, but the purples that I have are quite granulating. That feels like maybe a little bit of cheating. Um,
What is your favorite color?
that is difficult. Do you mean like in what sense? Like to paint
Okay,
with or
okay.
to
Favorite color to look at, favorite color you love to wear, and favorite color you would love to use. If
what
they
was
are
the middle
different.
one? So to look
So
at, and then what's the middle one?
to wear,
To what?
like to have like clothing or
Oh, to have.
something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that's favorite to wear is black. Black from today to tomorrow. I love black.
Okay,
The
okay,
majority of my wardrobe is black. Only when
okay.
I went to Malta did I like branch out and wear yellow. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really like yellow too. But my main go-to color always black. Favorite color to paint with is a tricky one because I never just use one color. I
Yes,
think if you were to look at I think I love purples, but if you were to look at my art, I think the majority is like greens, which
yes.
is interesting because it's not necessarily like normally I'm not like the biggest fan of greens, but I guess considering like I do florals and landscapes and everything, it would probably be like a green. But if I could only use one color, it might be Payne's Gray. Maybe that's why I was stuck on like a blue leaning Payne's Gray.
Mhm.
Um, or quinacridone gold.
Yes.
I think those two would be, or an ultramarine blue, which I know is like not the sexiest color, but it's just like such a nice color. um, and what was the last one to buy? What was the last one? I
No.
forgot. My memory's terrible.
So one was like favorite color, just like, and one was like for art supplies. I think that's how I
Yeah, and then
defined it.
yeah, so general black is my favorite color to use with. I it might be a Payne's gray. It sounds so boring, but I think it's a Payne's gray. I love a Payne's gray.
Yeah.
What about you? To wear to
Um,
art with?
so to wear, I would say probably this is also tricky. I love rust colors. I love wearing rust colors and olive greens.
Oh,
Um, to like favorite color as a color, I think it's just pale muted green. And to paint with, this is also it's tricky because
mm,
right we don't paint usually like with one
just
color.
one.
Uh, I would probably pick like if I would I don't know raw sienna. But I don't I wouldn't paint with it normally, but I feel like it would be perfect like as a neutral color to just
Yeah,
paint. Maybe like brown then, because then it would be like darker in value. Because like raw sienna is kind of like mid tone, I think. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe. But like I feel like paint gray is such a good choice because it's quite dark in value. So then you
yeah,
can just. So I would probably also pick like not like per se gray color, but something warmer, like dark brown or something, and that would be the color I would go for. I think like even like with things when you chatted about the carbon black ink, I remember
mm.
the first fountain pen ink I bought was sepia, so that kind of explains everything. Um, and I don't have like black shoes; I have dark brown shoes, so I would just
Okay.
get like dark brown color.
I think we essentially picked like up the favorite color that we're wearing is one way or a shape or form like relates to. Because for me, yeah, black carbon ink, black shoes, black bag, black coat. It's
Paint
I'm
gray.
literally wearing all black right now.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
I'm
like that.
excited for it.
Like, let in the comments know what you would like.
Yeah, let us know
Yeah,
what's
the
your
color
favorite color to wear and what's your favorite color to paint with.
and the favorite color just in general. Yeah, I'm really curious now, like what everyone else is like going to say.
Oh,
Bye,
and
Paolo. Thank you so much for
creating cute art is
joining.
here. Creating cute art is here as well. And is Paula leaving? Yeah.
Yeah, Paolo is leaving. Thank you for joining the
Oh, thank you
stream.
so much for joining. It's always so nice. He's always here. I like it. Like every time we're going live, he's like marking papers and also watching us. It's really nice.
Mm. Oh, hello, Ginga. I know her. She's my Patreon. So nice to see you here.
And Dana's saying that's dangerous. I may end up with 10 different monochromatic sketchbooks, one for each color. The thing is, I laugh now, and yet it's very possible. I think though, what I will set myself a rule, right? I will have now that it's evolved, I will have one sketchbook that will be for like a limited color palette so that I can work on color mixing because that was something that I wanted to work on this year. And then I will have one that's for one color. And should I decide that actually I want to continue with the monochromatic ones, and I'm like, no, actually I need one for Queen Gold, no, actually I need one for blue, or whatever, I will have to finish the other book before I start the new one. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, it's like you know, I will end up exercising absolutely no self-control. And the next time that we're live streaming, I'll be like, well, after speaking to Kriksis, I now have 25 books going at the same time.
I have
One for each color.
monochromatic, zodiac,
Yeah.
zodiac, triple, one with one color, one with two colors, one with three colors, one with five.
That will literally be it. I'll be like, oh, it started, and like it started with one, and now I can't help myself.
Okay, so creating cute art says Tracy olive green is my favorite to wear. Hmm. I resonate with that as well. That olive is such a beautiful color. Hmm. Laura Gomez is saying my favorite color is in general is pink. favorite color to paint with is indigo or paint gray. Uh, sorry if I'm pronouncing someone wrong. Aquarella with Blanca says my favorite color to wear is steel blue with black. Oh, such an interesting combination. Quite unique as well. And
Sorry, I was
green is
choking.
another. Sorry, is everything good? All right. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
took
I
over.
just randomly started having a coughing fit. I figured I should mute myself for it in case one.
Okay. I just thought I will take over and read
Yeah,
some
no,
of
of
this.
course.
So Aquarel also said green is another color that is growing on me.
Mm,
And that's due to watercolors. Yeah, so many beautiful watercolors and
yeah,
green shades.
yeah.
Monique said I wear either all black or pastel colors.
From one to the other. I created like a Kofi video, specifically dedicated to different, like to mixing different types of greens. Like that's how much I actually love them. And I didn't like, honestly, I didn't realize before. I was never like that into greens, but since I started painting, is like I just started seeing beautiful greens everywhere. And I think also like, spring is coming, like, or rather spring is here. So I'm really feeling the greens very much so. And Moni asked a good question. I'm curious to see everyone's perspective. And she said, I want to make a 50 favorite colors of all mediums video. Is that a good idea or should I just stick to one medium? I think it's a good idea. I did like 30 favorite Roman Schmall watercolors, and that felt like a reasonable amount. But I think, especially now that we all love different types of um, mediums, I think it would be nice to kind of be like, oh, well, this is my favorite color too. This is especially because you like use gouache and acrylic gouache and your paintings are stunning. And you're also, I think last time I saw you'd got like new pencils as well. I think it would be nice and insightful to see like, these are the colors that I use across different mediums. Um, but I'm curious to see, obviously, that's from me loving every art supply known to man. But I'm curious to know if what you think, Kriksis, or what others think in the comments as well, in terms of like, would you prefer a video that just says like my favorite watercolor, my favorite gouache, my favorite neocolors, or would you be happy to have a video that has all 50 but all in one place?
I mean, like I did recently video on my channel, which was my top 10 favorite colors, and I swatched all the mediums I'm using in those colors. So
Mm,
instead, it wasn't like just 10 colors from one medium. I just swatched from the mediums I'm using and kind of.
yeah,
I feel like as a mix, like for mixed media art and artist, I think that would be more useful than just have like one, and then it would be great to see like them next to each other, how the colors look. But honestly, like it depends. Like this, how I filmed it, it was. I thought what would be useful for me if I was just
yeah,
watching videos, and I would definitely click on video which like would share several different mediums in the same color, and I could like kind of pinpoint which color could go with what better. If that makes sense, I hope it makes sense. But yeah,
yeah. No,
um,
that makes sense to me. And like I said, I think. Whoops, my laptop's being funny. Whoops. I was trying to see the reference photo, but I can't. I just want
it's
to
still
see.
uploading. The other
Oh no, no,
reference
I don't
picture is
even mean
like
your one. I meant this one. I wanted to see what color the windows are because I thought they were like greenish, but
okay.
it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, no, I hope that helps Moni. But from my perspective, I think I would prefer like seeing any video that you make. If it happened, if you made it in separate videos, I would watch all of them. but I would like to see. I would be drawn to the one that has a whole, like a number of different mediums, and I think this would have been the case even before I started using those mediums. Like I was intrigued. I think the reason I got too intrigued by like Neocolor 2s and everything else is because I saw them getting used and I was like, oh, these are interesting. And it's nice to see how they work with other mediums as well. So I think if that's what you want to do, go for it. It's
I also feel like if you have like separate videos, you can go more in depth about each paint, which could also be really useful. Whereas if you do like several in one, it could most probably be like kind of shorter version if you like not enough time to talk about every single thing. If that makes sense, I hope it makes sense. So
yeah, no, that is a good point. So I guess it depends on how much you want to talk about each medium, and if you want to talk about each medium in depth, then a separate video. But if you like a reasonable length, but even then, I think it depends. Like for example, Natasha Newton tends to do quite a few really nice swatching videos, and they tend to be on the longer end, but if that's what people want to see, then the length of it is fine. Obviously we've been live streaming for almost 2 hours. If that's what the people want to see, then the people who find it useful will watch it and will stay. But from my perspective, yes, I would find that kind of video useful and also inspiring and insightful. And like Kriksis says, it's nice to see similar colors in different mediums like next to each other.
I actually enjoy also longer videos. Great.
You
sorry.
what? Sorry?
It overlapped. No, it overlapped. Our voices overlapped. Oh. I said like longer videos are great as well. Yeah. Okay.
I like Jinga mentioned about the Mother Color book. And Amy something says current favorite color is indanthrone. Emphasis on the current.
Yes. Currently. That's so funny. If there was a dress that had the Roman schmal colors on it, I would buy it. Accurella said it. Also, creating cute art says, Sketches, can I see your desk bigger for a minute too? I love
my
color.
desk?
Yes.
Oh, I think I did that now. Is that what you mean?
Okay.
Because I think I'm bouncing between mine and between yours.
And then Mr. Z, Mrs. or Mr. I think Mr. Mrs. Sorry, I'm like, English is not my first language. If I say something wrong, it's not like intentionally. I'm just like, this is my third language. So I've been into Viridian lately.
Impressive third.
That's really beautiful. Sorry?
Third language, not even second.
Yeah, it's third language,
That is impressive.
Yeah, and I know Russian as well. It was my second language. So misty morning clothes, is that like a color? Moni says I would buy misty morning clothes.
Okay. Yeah, misty morning is like a color by Roman Schmal that's beautiful. It's like purple with it's like gray pink. It's hard to describe. It's like gray pink, like a light. How would I hold on? As you read the comments, I'll go and get a swatch of it.
Okay. Okay, I will read the comments. So several of you are saying like misty blue. Laura Gomez, misty blue. Yeah, Viridian is beautiful. I like that each of you like support the different color choices as well. Okay, so Jinga says 50 favorite colors across all mediums would be fun. Kriksis video with 10 favorite colors. But watching one color group in different mediums is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm actually thinking about doing like follow-up video where I swatch 10 extra colors, which I didn't include in the first batch. Thank you so much.
I think that would be fun.
I really enjoyed filming it as well. I think it's like so great to just talk about color. And I feel like you all are really, like, reading your comments, you are like oh yeah, olive green is great, or like viridian, and so it everyone's like
It's
fascinated about color.
the
Um,
the video that I made that talks about like the top 30 Roman small colors was
yes.
primarily based on the top 30 voted by people. So I picked my favorites
Mhm.
and then I added some of the others. But this is like misty morning. I hope, hold on, I'll make my screen slightly bigger. Um, I'm gonna cough again. Um, Sorry, my computer can be so slow sometimes. But then again, I also shouldn't complain because it's really putting in work when it comes to live streams. So this is
Yeah.
misty morning right here. And
Oh,
initially when
wow,
you
it's
swatch it,
great.
it looks like a dirty gray. This one right here.
Yes, there's like blue, like teal inside,
Yeah, it's got
bluish
like
tone,
blue, it's got like almost like a teal looking
purple.
color, pink. And initially when you swatch it, it looks gray, and then it like starts to granulate, and it's like its beauty is really when you like do light washes of it, it just turns into this, and it's absolutely stunning. But yeah, the video
Mm,
was like this.
yeah.
All these
Oh,
colors.
I think I saw on your Instagram stories when you did like these drawings, like for swatching.
Yes,
Oh,
I've done quite a
but I
few.
haven't watched that video, so I should like watch it later on.
No, I've done like in terms, do you mean like the drawings that I did?
Yeah, like you said like you did the drawings and then you printed them and then you painted on top. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
like to
yeah.
see
I need to do like
transparency,
a
right?
full video. Yeah, I need to do like a full video on it just because I found it's helpful. But one of the when I did the Kofi Happy Mail, people said that they wanted to be surprised. So what I did was basically put up a poll and be like, which of these would you like, first, second, third choice? And then the one that won is the one that I ended up sending out. But because I didn't know which would win, and because I knew that I had like a tight time window, I one of the options was like a mini painting, another option was a swatch card that I've drawn that they can swatch on, or a dot card, like a whole bunch of options. And as I was preparing, I created like this swatch card. So I did all the drawings and then like on Canva fixed everything, made it like nice spaces, and then like created this. So in theory, you can paint over it, and the water won't disturb the ink. So I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so cute. So I've been doing more swatches basically,
Yeah. Oh,
especially
that
now that
looks
I can
really
just print them.
nice.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna quickly read a little bit more of comments.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
um, Aquarella is going away by Aquarelle and Blanc as well. And Laura Gomez is saying, I love Natasha's watching videos. Honestly, same. I could like watch Natasha's videos for a full day. Sometimes I
Yeah,
rewatch her videos and just like put in the background, work on my own things. She has such a calm voice and
yeah.
sweet personality, and I feel her videos are just like it's like comfort. It's like instead of comfort food, it's comfort
It's
swatching.
good.
I don't know, her comfort swatching videos.
I feel like that's
Um,
such a good description of it.
yeah. So and then I will the question I will read a little bit later, but Moni says she loves longer videos as well, and Tracy says I can barely speak English, and I was born English speaking. Honestly, sometimes when I speak my native language, I also just completely like speak all over the place and just like so. Yeah, it's fine. Lucha's Cat DIY says, "Good morning from Tokyo." Oh, good
Oh
morning to
wow.
Tokyo. That's
Good
so far
morning.
away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I
You
love,
know what?
you
Like
know what?
the
One thing I love about the internet, like the fact that we're able to connect from all over the world, unreal.
oh yeah. You know, that is like actually my dream destination. I would love to go to Japan and to go to Studio Ghibli Museum and go to all the stationery shops they have. Uh, Lucia, bring me bring me to Tokyo. It's such a beautiful place. Okay, so Victoria Chelsea says to wear red. So though I mainly have black, to draw with it's drawing black and white.
Ah,
Well, that's a smart answer, black and white for drawing. um, okay. Money said again, isn't it gorgeous? I love misty morning.
yeah.
I really like it's really interesting. I really love Misty Blue, which is from Holbein acrylic gouache, and it's also the first name is Misty. Um, I love how Misty Anita BAR channel says I love how Misty morning looks like. Sadly, it was unavailable during my last haul. I managed
Yeah.
to get mineral violet though.
Yeah,
That was
mineral
hard to
violet
get.
is also beautiful. It's like a
Is it light? Is it like
yeah,
lighter tone?
it's not no, it's quite a deep color. It's like a violet with an ultramarine.
Hmm.
Where is mineral violet? My swatch isn't that big, so I don't know if you can see. I'll get another one. So it's like here, this one right
Okay.
here. So you can see like the violet and the blue peeking through. But let me see. I should have another swatch. Oh, I made a video trying to make my own mineral violet. So that's what this is from. So this is mineral violet here. Don't know if you can
Mm.
see the purple coming through on this one. And then I tried to like mix my own with different, like, other paints.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it's like a
I like
deep
how
purple
you
that has
just
a
like
pink poking
I like
through.
how you just
This one.
have a suitcase. It's like yes, yeah, it
Be like, yeah, this is mineral violet right here. It says PB29 and PV19, and it's just like granulates really nicely.
yeah.
Is the one next to this. So yeah. And then I mean while we're here, Shadow Violet Light as well, beautiful. And then Shadow Violet itself, beautiful. And then this right here is Shabish Grey. I always like
Yes.
struggle to say it, but again, that row right there.
Oh.
Chef's kiss.
Can you bring it up to the greens? Just a little bit.
Bring to the green. Sorry.
Yeah.
So with the greens, we start
Oh, I
here
love
and we
the
have
paint gray. It's not green though. It looked for a second, but it's gray.
yeah,
Paint gray is really beautiful from the
yeah.
this beautiful tone. And the
Right.
green, the darkest green on the left.
Yes, this is Aquarius green, so it's like a unique color by
That's
Roman Schmall. So all
beautiful.
these colors are Roman Schmall, I should say. But yeah, so it's
Yeah.
one of their newer colors, and then they also have. So then this is their Hooker's green, olive green deep, and then here is their autumn green, which was like the newest color, which again
Hmm.
beautiful and granulates really nicely. Like I guess it's got that autumnal feel, but it almost feels like there's raw sienna poking through. I know it's not raw sienna, but like that's what I mean, like green and like yellow. And then we have green gold as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anita. She's like, oh, I said it right. Honestly, yeah, I, it's such a beautiful color. I was like, I feel bad because every time that I mention it, I feel like I'm slaughtering the poor man's name. But I try to work on my pronunciation.
Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly read a couple more, so you can paint
Yeah.
while I read because you it's been the opposite, I think, for the beginning of the stream. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, Molly said these colors tend to be out of stock quickly. Yeah, I guess like a lot of people prefer those colors.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really interesting to see like the color choices. In my work, I never use purples, so it's really interesting to kind of like the pink and purple for me is like band color. I don't I don't have any in my watercolor palette. I have some pencils, but I want to sell them. The ones who
What
are
kind
like
of
purples and pink.
I am
But
a
it's just
like I'm
like
a sucker
a
for them.
mix.
I have
Sorry.
I said I'm a sucker for them. Like I love purples. I love the thing is I like pinks, but I was gonna say I don't really know how to use them. As in like I use them in I guess because I do florals. So I'm very much drawn to the pinks as well. I'm drawn to the purples, especially when I'm doing like shadows. I just think that
Yeah.
they can be a nicer color to add than black. Or, uh,
But Aneta BAR channel says, I guess the color I regret not buying on time the most was random gray by Schmink. I think like Natasha has random gray 22, or maybe is it different color, or
yeah,
is
every
like
year is a different color. So the
yeah.
there's a painting hiding who's another YouTuber created a video, like, again, really interesting concept, where she tried to make her own random gray, because the way that they make it is almost like using a random concoction of leftover pigments, mixing it all together and then seeing what happens, is my understanding,
Oh,
like my limited
okay.
understanding of what they're doing. So like all the random grays will be the same colors, but it's just literally creating a neutral color by mixing a whole bunch of different colors. So one of the things that she did is just mixing her own, and I think that in itself is quite a nice and fun thing to do. Leron, I don't remember his surname, who also
Yeah.
has a YouTube channel. His palette, more often than not, is like an amalgamation of watercolors that he has used over and over and over again. So he, in effect, has created his own random gray. But by mixing your own colors, I guess you can kind of try to create something, a gray that you then like. And if you tend to have quite a lot of tube paints, then there's no reason that you couldn't do it. Mix them all together and then add them to your own palette, and there you are, your limited edition random gray created by you.
Oh,
Um,
this is. I think Natasha Newton also did like one video where she mixed all the tube paints together and she got like this
oh yes, she
grayish
mixed like
color.
50, yeah, she had like a grayish blue. She mixed like 50 colors or something. Yes, you're right. And someone else, can I say it again? Bearing in mind, guys, I am far from a professional, but the way that I say it is shibish gray, like shibish gray. but, um, but I feel like I
I
need to
will not even pronounce it.
I
I
feel like
will just not say it at all.
I feel like I need to like hear a Polish person say it. I basically sent it to my friend who's Polish, and I was like, "Can you say it?" And he sent me a voice note saying it, and I was like, "Okay." Practicing saying it before I made the video, because I was like, I feel like I should make the effort to try and say it correctly. Um, so it helped. Well, obviously, I don't listen to the voice note every day, which is why I'm like, I'm not sure how accurate my pronunciation is right now. But you guys are being very sweet by saying that is pretty good. I appreciate it. But I feel like, hold on, maybe I should add a bit more texture up here. But I feel like my painting is pretty much almost done.
I'm trying to catch up with messages and I forgot about painting. So I'm like, no. but
Don't worry,
but
don't worry. I can see.
it's so interesting, like to read and like to catch up and like
Yeah,
there are discussions about art supplies and like I think I will just go back and like read everything
and watch
after the
it back.
stream as
I
well. But yeah, okay. I think I will just because I was like for past 10 minutes I was just like checking the chat, so I'm just gonna quickly scribble something.
No, it's
um,
fine. I think that's what I tend to do as well. Like, it's just nice to go back on the chat and see, because inevitably sometimes, like, I do miss things. Um, which is why I want to say, like, oh, if you have a question or if you're asking something to us, then put the beginning in caps so that we can see it as it goes and know that it's directed to us. And that's my tiny house. Can you see it? So this is the
oh
sketch.
yeah.
Wait, this is the sketch, and then this is me having done like multiple layers. And as I said, it's unreal to me that it's taken me this long, because earlier it took me a lot less time, a lot less.
I think it's just like multitasking. Like for me, it's
Yeah,
also really hard to even like if I film videos and I chat, it's really hard
yeah,
to combine. But now it's like three tasks because you chat, you paint, and you also check the messages and answer. So it's like even like more, I think. And yeah, it's I completely understand the
Oh,
struggle.
thank you so much, Mrs. E. She's like, I love the way that you projected the light in this piece. Thank you. I can't believe how much you have done, though, Kriksis. Like you've covered so much, and it's all Poscas that you're using at the moment.
Yeah, I'm covering on top because I don't like how it looks.
You're covering the whole thing
um,
with. I almost like part of me, I know it doesn't make sense, but part of me wants to do the same painting again, only because like it now doesn't really make sense. I didn't think about it at the time that this entire page is like gouache, gouache, ink, gouache,
yeah.
mixed media. I'm like, oh, it should be in color like everything else. But for this one, I'll try and be quick. Um, and then we'll see how maybe I'll try and like mess around with some of the colors that I use. I just need
Can
a
you can you check if you can share the file because
oh yes.
it's like it's showing like 75% and it's still like not. I don't know. I
If
think it
you
will
send
not
it to me,
happen.
did
It's
you turn it into a PDF?
oh, I can send it, but as a message. I'm not sure if I could send it to you as a. Wait, I will send it you to your Gmail. Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll just open it up.
I
Uh,
will I will let you know when. The file is quite big. I don't know why. Why it's
oh,
so
actually,
big?
you sent it to me before. Is it the same like one of the ones you sent me before?
Yeah, so it's 2776. 2776.
Okay, let me try and find it then.
Really
Uh,
interesting content for, for everyone. Um, okay.
to see the behind the scenes. So you guys saying that you love the spread with the ink sketch in between? I feel like it will look so much nicer if it's all color. The thing that I was worried about, or the reason that I didn't, is because I was skeptical. I didn't really trust the carbon ink, but really and truly, it's holding up. That's why I didn't paint on top of it. Um, where are you? And what was it? 2776.
2776, yes.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, it's been
Oh,
like uploading for several, like half an hour
for
or
some
something like
reason,
that.
I can't see a 2776. I can only see four color. Four. Oh no, actually, never mind. I can see it now.
Okay.
2776. Okay, download it. It might be taking long because we're live, you know?
Yeah. Well, honestly, like I really wanted to upload video on my YouTube channel today, and for 4 hours I got up to 5%. So my
Oh,
internet is really bad. So hopefully tomorrow I will have a new video. But it's like, yeah, it happened just like in the same day, and I was like thinking how I will do live stream if my internet is so awful today.
we're lucky it worked for me. I wanted to upload a video as well, but honestly, I just hadn't finished the editing, and I keep telling myself that the amount of time I'm spending on editing just does not make sense because it's not like you'll look at it and be like, "Oh my gosh, the editing is phenomenal." So I'm literally like, I should just do less. But it's basically started off as a 55-minute file, and I'm cutting out everything, and I've gone through 10 minutes, so I have 45 minutes left to kind of do to finish editing. So God willing, I'll finish it tomorrow. But we'll see. Then let me try and export it. Export as PDF. This is nice. But again, I really struggle with the trees. Let me do
Yeah, that's
download.
why I chose it because the practice. You said like, oh, I would love to practice. I was like, okay, next thing, let's draw this one. It's just like I think you should draw it because that's like the things you are struggling with. So
Yeah.
you will thank me later. I promise.
I literally looked at
It
the
will be
reference. I was like,
fun.
this is the exact thing that I said I was struggling with. Let me upload slides from my computer.
Okay.
Upload file.
I hope it's.
Did not
Is it
work.
like? Is the quality all right? I cannot see. Like, is it looking
Yeah, it's okay.
blurry?
I think it comes in. I think it comes and goes. That's the nature of like live streams. It's a little for me. It's a little bit blurry, but I always feel like that when I'm doing live streams and people say that it's fine that they can see. So um,
But it's looking really blurry. I hope it's okay. Maybe someone, if someone can comment if the sketch is it
yeah,
like
let us know.
okay, because maybe I can like try to, I don't know how I can fix it. Like the internet is not the best for me here. I live literally in a farm, so yeah.
On my phone, it's okay.
Okay.
Upload from my computer. Upload.
Moni says also Kriksis says she doesn't use pinks and purples, and I'm sucker for them. But I still love her color palette so much because it's so harmonic and very beautiful with the. Thank you so much. I feel like I also love artists who uses pinks and purples, but it's just like something I don't go towards for. But I completely understand how you can like love other artists use different paints and colors. But yeah, I feel like with the like it's great to have like a swap then, like with art supplies. If one of your friends likes, for example, more like browns or like greens, another friend likes purples and pinks, swapping art supplies is the best idea ever. Um, and
I agree that it can lead to beautiful results. And I've got the file up now, so people can see your art
oh
next to
yeah,
the reference.
oh yeah, this is like the one I'm drawing for. But I wanted to give like timed challenge for this one, but I think I kind of when I started reading comments, I forgot I started working on the sketch. I think it's been like 40 minutes now or something. I'm kind of
Maybe I'll
breaking the
try and
rules
do.
because in this sketchbook I have like less like I need to work in less than 30 minutes for this sketchbook, so I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit. But it's with chatting it's like longer, so
Yeah,
that will be my excuse, I
it's
guess.
not like you're there and overthinking the brushstrokes. It's more so the fact that you're doing a million other things at the same time. I'm going to paint over the although no one can see it, but I'm going to paint over the sketch that I did, and I'm going to try and do that quickly. And in theory, it should be fine to do quickly because I've just done it over a slow period of time on the other side. And I'll try and do that timed. But again, it's tricky when live.
Yeah. I think like in this spread I will just write it like it was in live stream and I was chatting and it's longer than I promised the sketch to be. But yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's definitely normal.
creating cute art says quick is your room you're in looks so cozy. Thank you so much. And thank you Ginga for saying that sometimes it looks slightly blurry. Um,
But never
yeah,
as bad as when they take off their glasses.
I couldn't finish the sentence. That's so funny. Okay, thank you for letting me know. By the way, I used she sent to me the parafilm, which is kind of like where you wrap the watercolors and you can ship them out. I want to sell my oil paint, and I wrapped
Oh yeah.
some of the paint in the parafilm, and it works wonders. So the oil doesn't like leak out from the tubes, and that's where I use for now. But I will try for watercolors as well. Um, okay, so okay, what?
And are you trying to sell them because you're like focusing more on other mediums, or you didn't enjoy it, or?
Yeah, so I'm selling oil paints because I think I will never use them again in my life, and that's kind of a big statement. But
Yeah.
last time when I have been painting with oils for like I don't know 6 years, and I stopped like 4 years ago, and because I was doing like fine art before, and
Yeah.
we painted with oils like still life and landscapes, and then I was like getting dizzy, and I like kind of like the smell kind of
Um,
made me sick. And even like now, when yesterday I took pictures, and I at first like I took all of my oils and shared them on Instagram as like if anyone wants to buy, here are
yeah.
they. But when I took them out and I was like wrapping some of them with parafilm, and when I was like just taking pictures, I was like already like opening the window, and I was like just do it quickly and then put it back
Yeah.
into the box. I think like I'm really sensitive to it, so I don't think I will paint with oil anymore. And I would love
Okay.
to invest a little bit in acrylics, so that's why I'm selling them. So
Yeah, I saw, I don't know if it was a story or a post, but
yeah,
I saw you saying that you were going to do more acrylics, and you'd like lifted out your palette and everything to kind of get ready for it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I have like acrylics, like primaries. So I actually don't mind just using primaries, but I was thinking if
Mm.
I will buy refills, that could be like where I will spend the money. But yeah, no one wanted to buy oils, so I will possibly do like eBay auction. Uh,
Maybe. I guess most of your followers like watercolor artists.
no, mixed
Perhaps.
media as well. But I think
Okay.
like one of the thing was I can't ship it overseas because it's oils, so it was
Okay.
like
Yeah.
for UK only. So I think it's also but yeah, like I like my purpose is not like sell it to like get money. Sell it just because I don't use it, and sell it
Yeah.
because it's like something that will just sit in one of my shelves and just take space.
Yeah.
So yeah, and give me like dizziness
Yeah.
when I will open it.
No, yeah, no, that's fair enough. I think that's
So that will be the only function.
it's daily function. No, that's fair enough, and I hope someone buys it. But yeah, you're right. I guess if it can't be shipped abroad, then that's difficult. And I don't know if like many mixed, I guess many mixed media's artists use like oil as well. Like I don't know how to mix oil with other mediums, but then again, I also don't know how to paint with oil, so that's probably where I should
No, I
start off
think
with.
like oils don't mix with other like
Yeah,
unless like what I at least learned, you can paint with acrylics as like the first layers and then put oils
yeah,
on top when the acrylic layer is completely dry. But
yeah.
you cannot put acrylic on top of oil because oil dries slower and acrylic dries faster, and it
Yes.
will crack. So, and I think like even with I think like oil pastels you could possibly use if I'm not wrong. But yeah, usually like oils are just like oils,
Yeah.
and
Quite a
that's like
dominant medium.
yeah. But it's I remember like in the beginning when I used them, it was all right. But throughout the years, I was like, no, I need to switch the mediums, and yeah,
Mm.
I went completely like different route, and I
I've
mean like
never
if
used
I
them.
were I think like it's great medium if you don't mind the smell or if you can open the window where you live all the time when you paint
Mm.
or like also like there is water soluble oil which
Mm.
is like a solution as well, but I think like in that case you can also just use acrylics, or I learned that there is like golden acrylic which is like a slow dry or something like that, which the function is like it dries like I don't know, in 3 or 4 hour times, which is much slower than classic acrylic. Which is something actually I checked and was like, this is really interesting. So yeah. Okay. Um, hello, Dawn. Dawn came as well
Oh,
here.
hey, Dawn.
Sonia said, I sold my oil paints on Marketplace. They sold really quickly. Oh, really? Maybe I should put on Facebook Marketplace as well.
There's loads of great stuff on Marketplace. I haven't used it as of yet, but every time I look, I'm like, this is fantastic. My only fear is always like sometimes the deal seems so good that I'm like, is this actually like like a lie? Like, do you know what I mean? I was looking for what was I looking for? Can't remember, some like a camera or something, and the prices were like incredibly good. I was like, this seems a little bit too good to be true. So I didn't get it in the end, and then it like disappeared. So it probably was legit.
Oh wait, there is Moni saying so I can buy them from her. Like honestly,
Yeah,
if you want to buy them from me, but if you are in the UK, I don't know if
yeah. She's in Germany, that's why.
yeah, like the thing why I cannot sell them, I think I started like reading it's just like for safety reasons because they're like flammable or something. So that's why I cannot like ship them like with airplane, I think. Yeah. Oh, really? Annette says I use oils on top of gouache, but it requires but it requires a varnish over finish gouache first. That is that's yeah, that's really interesting, and I didn't know. Okay, going back to painting. That for the 30th time.
It's easy to get distracted, don't worry. Happy Easter, Mrs. Z. It's actually Easter in Greece as well, like today. And I think in where I can't remember, but I saw it on someone's YouTube channel, not YouTube, someone's Instagram story. But anyway, happy Easter to everyone. Let me. So this second one, I'm just trying to do super fast, and I started off with gouache, and we'll see how that goes.
But yeah, I think I will in the next following days I will sell a little bit more also on my Instagram stories. I want to sell purple pencils and pink pencils because I have like some sets which I bought like some long time ago, and they're just like some colors I use and others I don't use at all.
What kind of colors are they?
There is Prismacolor, there is Holbein Artist.
How did you get Prismacolor? I find them really hard to get here. Like I haven't got any. I was curious about them, and then I couldn't, because I thought, everyone in the US talks about how they're nice, how they're like creamy, how they are more affordable.
There is on eBay, you can buy them separately in the UK, by the way. I got the set from when I was studying picture book illustration. I had course mates from America, and when she was in America, she kind of bought it and brought it back. So it was really nice of her. So that's how I got like sets, and it was I think 60 or 100, like a long, like big set. And I realized like why did I buy sets? I should have picked like just like colors I will actually use. So I have like unused Prismacolor pencils in like those tones, and yeah, I feel like I will not use them at all. And honestly, like sometimes I feel guilty if I'm not like using some art supply. So that's why I feel like selling them is like good option. I can buy what I need in the correct colors, and also someone else can like create art using those colors. So yeah.
I can relate to that, but I think one of the good things is that you actually like use your supplies. You create so much art, you know. Every time I look at your sketchbooks and your stories, I'm like, wow, there's just so much art going. Um, so I don't think you should feel guilty. I think you're doing like you're already doing an amazing job. And I'm going to
Thank
put
you.
your picture back. Let me make it bigger. And with the reference.
Someone asked, creating cute art, Kriksis, is that watercolor or gouache? Um, this is gouache. But this is not acrylic gouache. This is traditional gouache. It's Winsor & Newton designer's gouache. But what I did, I mixed kind of different designers' gouache colors before, and then they dried. So I kind of like made the color palette of colors I will use, but they are just pre-mixed before. It's not like straight from the tube. And I use them sometimes in this sketchbook, but I think it's the only case where I will use them. Um, um, Made by Dawn said, I noticed that I have reached my ceiling in buy art supplies. That's really funny. I
It's,
mean, like, but at the same time, like, if you create art and if you create it like often, like, as much as I feel guilty at the same time, like, this is like what we do.
yeah.
And if you like doing this, either it's like a hobby or if you're like full-time artist, um, yeah, this is like what you do, or this is like your hobby, and yeah, you need to
No,
embrace it.
I agree. And you're a full-time artist, no?
Yes, I am, but
Yeah.
like full-time struggling artist. That's my formulation. Um, I work full-time as an artist, but I'm not like in the like I'm striving to be in a little bit better situation, but yeah.
What kind
So
of like
how
what
I
kind of
earn
thing?
money
Hmm?
is so how I earn money is from YouTube,
Yeah.
Patreon, and Etsy. And
Okay.
so on Etsy, I sell kind of handmade things. I do screen printing at home. I sell stickers and T-shirts and prints, and like I have like 70 listings, I think, a lot of things. And then yeah, Patreon is like the membership. It's kind of like your coffee, but it's just like in
Yeah.
Patreon. And I have 3 tiers, so I do podcasts every single month. I chat like about life and updates. In the middle tier, I have video, like exclusive video once a month, where
Mm.
I just kind of draw and chat at the same time, but I don't do live stream. So, like, well, I did live stream once, but like in general, yeah, like chat and draw. And then I have highest tier where I do physical reward, which is every single month I create art, and this is like super exclusive art only to Patreons, and I send every month. And wait, like little self promotion, I guess, but this is
No, no,
actually
but by all means, go for it. Like, I think.
this is
Well, hold
this
on. Let
is
me make it bigger. Oh,
April
that's the that's
physical
the
reward.
what I made the thumbnail. It's meant to be.
Yeah, so this is actually everyone who joins the highest tier this month, they will
Yeah.
receive the print of this art. And this is the art which I made exclusively for Patreon. So it was like really
Oh.
funny that you chose it as a thumbnail. But yeah,
Because you said anything, and I was like there looking for ages. I was like, oh, I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to pick. Then I was like, you know what? I'll just pick my favorite, put it up, and like
yeah,
I've got your
yeah.
permission.
No,
I'll be
it's
fine.
fine. Honestly, like I do more like illustrative style. So what I do now in this live stream, I just draw from these reference pictures because it's much easier to chat and talk and do
Yeah.
like from picture rather than just to come up with the story while I chat and draw. So that's
So
why
as
this
in
is
like
like more. Sorry.
so as in like when you're creating art, you're just like think like you're doing this from imagination without
I mix,
reference?
but I sometimes don't add reference. Sometimes I do. It's mix of things. Usually I have like some, like I have like a picture and I just
Mm.
this like particular tree, I will just take it and put it in there and kind of like clip sometimes and
Yeah.
yeah, and then I create like character. Sometimes like character is like from reference. Sometimes I take pictures of myself in like particular pose I want to make. So
Yes.
I kind of make together, but I also like create a little bit from imagination as well,
That's
and
so cool.
kind of like from my head. So I can't do it here in live stream like that. So that's why like it's really nice to just like look at the picture and kind
And
of
paint it.
still do like twist, but yeah. But anyways, like that was like the Patreon and then YouTube. But like it's not like the main income because we both have like similar kind of channels following wise. So it's not like it doesn't like cover a lot. But yeah, this is like how it is right now. Um,
No,
but
I
I was when I was when I started the YouTube channel, I was a
yeah.
barista, and then I got picture book project, and
Mm.
like last year I worked on a picture book, and then this year. No, I think like wait, last year was 2022. So I
Yeah.
finished the picture book in 2021 December, and last year I was like trying to do this full time, and this year I'm like kind of trying to combine.
Mm.
I want to teach like in person, like private lessons. I
Oh,
did teach for like children in the area. So yeah, that's also, but yeah, kind of like combining things, I guess. Um, so yeah. I don't know. It's just like me bobbing around. But yeah.
no, but I think that's one of the wonderful things and freedoms that art can afford, that you can express yourself differently, and like YouTube is a way to do it, Patreon is a way to do it, Kofi is a way to do it. How do
Mm.
you find I was watching don't know why I'm so bad with names. I was watching I feel like her name is Emily. I will remember and I'll put it down. But I was watching essentially her YouTube, and she has a Patreon. And on there, her surname starts with N. She does like really, I don't know. I'll find it on YouTube and I'll mention her. But she was talking about her Patreon like a few days ago.
Yes.
And she was basically saying how it's good, but it's hard, especially because she was talking about and I don't know if you've had a similar experience, but doing the higher tier with the physical products, it it was basically looking like, if you look at the numbers, she wasn't actually making money from it. She was um because by the time that you add it, I think she would maybe make like £2 per Patreon for those in the UK, and then nothing for those in the US or those abroad, because the shipping would take up everything. um so she was just kind of like sharing, I guess, the ups and the downs that are associated with trying to have your own YouTube channel and trying to have, create all these things at the same time. How have you found like doing the higher tier? Because I was always concerned about doing physical rewards as well for that reason, and also
Yes.
like the
I
the
mean,
the
like, what do you know? Like the price she had, like for highest tier.
I think it was 15. I wish I could find it. It must be on my like subscriptions feed. I think she was charging like 15-ish pounds.
Yes.
I think so. She was basically like, she put out the numbers, and she was basically like, it starts off as £15, and then Patreon will take a certain amount, and then they'll also take processing fees, which brings it down to £12, and then um like by the time that she did the numbers, it was like you were left with I think maybe like say £3, but then shipping to abroad is like £4.20. And that's one of the things, like, although I love doing like Happy Mail, and that's why I keep like doing Happy Mail like randomly, I knew that I wouldn't be able to commit to doing it like monthly, to like printing something out and creating something monthly and
Yes.
then shipping it, because I think it's almost like you need, or I felt, I don't know if that's true, I almost felt like you need a certain number of subscribers first, or not subscribers, of people actually on the Patreon and on the group first before it makes a profit. But perhaps I am just I don't know, I'm not great with maths. When I was doing my Etsy store, I was making a loss with every sale. I was like, I'm not the best when it comes to business. Um, but
I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I have like that, like little left when I take all the fees off. So like,
mm,
I have a Patreon since last February, and in the beginning, my physical reward was lino print. So I did like a
mm,
lino print card for 13 months, so like till this February, and then I decided to do illustration print. And of course, like with illustration print, it's a higher cost because I'm ordering. I don't have like color printer, so I'm ordering prints online. So it's like extra money, but I calculated everything, and I think like I have with the shipping and print production, like £4 off, or like £4 or £5 off, like the
the
so
thing.
like the
Maybe
The
actually, I think
highest tier I have is £14.50, so around £10 is off when I take the shipping and production, and then there's like platform fees. So I probably like received still like £9 or something. But like with those £9, like people also like they receive content I do for lower tiers, which is like the
yeah, this is
podcast,
the
the
highest thing. Yeah,
videos, and so it's like a lot of things involved. And I think it's like I have been a Patreon for other artists as well, and I really enjoyed the physical reward here as well. So
yeah,
I really wanted to do like prints because when I did lino prints, I realized like I want to focus more on like my mixed media art, and when I started like doing watercolors, and when I did like this little one, I
oh,
realized like I would love to paint like more with watercolors, and
yeah,
yeah, do like something more like that. So possibly like May's physical reward will be also like with watercolors. And yeah, I
yeah.
feel
No,
like
that
this,
would.
I don't know, like I feel like the value is not only because like people like how much you have left, but also value is like that people are actually supporting you to create that
100%.
particular art.
Yeah,
And that for me is like actually like some people are willing to get like this print, and I'm really happy that I can like create art, and like some people already like wait for this art to come.
yeah.
And yeah, it just like brings me joy as well.
No, I
Yeah,
agree,
so
and I think like the sense of community as well is just amazing. Like I love, because we have so I have a Kofi which is similar to a Patreon. It's just that when I was doing the maths, I kind of felt that the fees would be lower, and that in theory I could have a bit more flexibility with the Kofi. So I offer the membership on there, and it's
yes.
just so nice. Every As part of the rewards, I have like a Discord, which is almost like a to me, it's
Oh
almost
yeah,
like
I
a
know.
WhatsApp. Yeah, okay.
It's
But to me, it's almost like a WhatsApp where we like can chat and share pictures and whatever. And it's just nice to go on there daily and chat with people, see people's art, get updates, ask questions, support no buys versus enable others. I'm a bit more on the enabling side. But as part of the I just think that the community is just such a beautiful thing to like have added. And I mentioned this already, that there were times where I honestly contemplated just taking a break from YouTube, because it can be quite a lot of work. It's fun, but it's
yes.
also a lot of work, especially because it's not like I'm sitting in front of the camera and just like talking. I am painting, and then you have to edit, and editing takes ages, and there are pros and cons to doing it. And just basically the fact that Kofi kept me going, they kept me encouraged. I don't even think they knew. It's not like I go on there and I'm like lamenting about how hard how hard it is to do, but it's just that I would go
Yes.
there and feel like really inspired, or see someone share their art, or see, and especially like the Kofi members that have been there for like a while, like Lorna, Miss Ebony, like you get to see, you get to talk to them all the time, you get to see their art change. Moni joined as well. It's just been an absolutely amazing experience. um and the only thing I regret is that it took me so long to actually start it, but now that I've started it, I absolutely love it. And in terms of the rewards, just in case anyone is interested in joining my Ko-fi or interested in joining Krixis's Patreon, um, I do monthly exclusive videos like you do, and quite often it's like videos that I have picked. So whether it be like me talking in depth about my palette, or doing a review of some books that I'm inspired by, or trying to do, or like updates or tutorials, like it's just a range of different things. I do minimum of one a month, but sometimes it depends how I feel, like I end up doing a little bit more, but it allows me to be a bit more personable on there, I find. So it tends to be a lot more about what I enjoy, what's working for me, pros and cons, experiments that I'm doing in my art, that kind of thing. Then Discord is another reward where essentially we get to chat daily. And then recently we did
Yes.
like a paint party. So it's similar to what we're doing here, but it's not, instead of it being a live stream, it's like a video call. So I can see whoever has their camera on, I can hear whoever has their mic on, and we literally just painted together and chat for hours and hours and hours. And it was just a lot of fun. And it's just a closer way, like basically creating art friends. That's basically
Yes.
um what we've done through that. And every so often, it's not an official reward, but because when I feel inspired and able to do so, I will then also send like happy mail. So as I said, this month, um it's kind of going to be a bit of a surprise. I'm really excited for when people are going to receive it, to see like what they think. um but yeah, and I've put a spoiler on Discord, just in case, because some people were like, yeah, I want to know. Other people were like, no, I don't want to know. So the best way I could think of
Yes.
it is put a spoiler. And if you want to know, you click on the button. If you want to be surprised, and you just have to wait a few more days, and it'll be here soon. Um, but yeah, that's I think it has pros, like I said, pros and cons. And I
Hmm.
honestly admire you. I don't know how you do it, because the thing is, like, I'm creating videos weekly. I have the Ko-fi, I have the YouTube, right? So I don't have an Etsy that I'm actively selling on. So we have similar income
Yes.
streams, but for me, they are a wonderful and welcome addition, but they're not enough for, like, I couldn't be full time on it. Um, so I don't know how artists do it. Like, I'm just like, the day that I make enough to like even pay one bill, I will be absolutely amazed. At the moment, it's blessed me to allow me to, like, I bought a tripod through Kofi. I bought the printer that I use the swatches for through Kofi. YouTube pays me maybe like £50 a month, depending on the month. And then obviously if it's less than £60 a month, they don't pay you that month. They wait until it goes over £60. So more
Yes.
times than they'll like hold on to it. Um, but yeah, I
I
don't know.
mean, I barely make it. I just say like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I mean, it's not like, yeah, it's not
Mm.
like a lot when you say it like that.
But I hope it will change. Like, as in, like, I think it takes a massive leap of faith to do it, to like decide, yes, I'm going to, go full time and dedicate. And I hope that it, pays off. That with time, as your channel grows and as more people discover your art, and you start, making illustrations for books and everything and all that you're doing, that it will change and it will be a sustainable form of income. Um, But yeah, I always admire, like, that's why I watch like Lee Ellickson and yours, and like the number of blogs I watch, or vlogs rather, that I watch that are of artists, because I'm literally in awe of the idea of being a full-time artist. Like, I'm just like, how
Yes.
how is it possible? It's
You're not alone.
I'm going to catch up on the comments.
Okay.
As you continue to create. And I think I like I'm trying to see. I think they look very similar, but I like in terms of my painting, I like the first one that I did. That's on the I'm creating a wonky door. That's on the right. I think the other one's okay, but I tried to, do what you said and practice the trees, so I just left it. It's just like when there's so many little branches, I don't really know how to
You
depict them in a
you can
pleasing
grab
way.
a pencil or like what I do. I did like three branches with a thicker acrylic marker, and then I
Yeah.
took like super tiny like pencil, and I just like, you know, because these three branches are like wobbly, and I just like taking it and like drawing like a kid, like left, right, left,
Oh,
right.
to like be super loose with it?
Yeah, like and it's like it looks like like three branches, and kind of like approximately know like the direction, but still kind of like improvise a little bit, because no one is
Mm.
like going to count exactly like
Where's the
which
which
like
branches is
where
this?
is this branch coming from. Like the main ones you can, like, if you want, you can always like pick the main ones, but when it comes to like tinier ones, you can just like
Yeah,
kind of do it like freestyle. And I usually don't draw weekly ones, but I started doing them because in Cornwall there are a lot of trees who are like, because it's windy and the sea is near, all the
yeah.
trees are kind of like twisted, and I really want to kind of like emphasize it a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I could see that in the references that you sent. I was like,
What happened to the trees?
yeah, all of the trees are
Oh,
like, they have no leaves and they're all like curved in the most interesting of ways. Oh, thank you so
yeah, it's
much.
just like the orange.
Creating cute art. She's going to charge her iPad, and let me catch up. Oh, Moni's so sweet. She's saying that my Ko-fi Discord is so wholesome. That's honestly how I feel.
Aw.
Like, it feels like a just a lovely, supportive, encouraging space. I can't even express how grateful I am beyond the fact that people are willing to, like you said, pay and support, but just to go somewhere and be able to talk to all these wonderful artists. Amazing. And the thing is, when I say wonderful artists, I mean of like all skill levels. I think one time, people were concerned that I meant I only wanted professional artists. And that's just not the case. I am not professional. I am not expecting everyone professional to be on there. It's everyone like of all skill levels. The point is just to have like people with similar interests talking together
Yes.
and advising each other and sharing inspiring art or inspiring resources or doing art challenges together, especially if, like me, you don't tend to have real life in person art friends. This is just a wonderful way to connect with friends from all over the world. um,
Hmm. And I feel like-minded people kind of find each other. So
yeah.
like when yeah, that was that's the end of sentence. So even like like-minded people always like find each other because they relate to the things you are going through, or like they have similar interests or preferences, and
Yeah, no, I agree.
it's really nice to find the right people. So I feel like your discount sounds like the right people for you, and
Yeah,
kind of.
no, 100%. And I think me Mrs. E asked, if so in order to get access to the Discord, it's for Kofi members only at the moment. At a point, I think I asked, I can't remember when, if I should make it open to everyone, and the feeling on Discord was no. so, so 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 I left it. So I left it as it was and just left it as like a reward just for Discord.
MZ Bonnie said, if I could use my art supplies the way Kriksis uses her, my supplies would be gone in 10 years. Oh, that's so funny.
No, because she currently has like she currently has like a lifetime supply of art supplies. Miss Ebony loves buying art supplies as much as I do. We are very similar in that respect.
Yeah. And then Ginga said, can confirm Kriksis Patreon is awesome. Worth it. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you are doing all right. Let me know what you're drawing now, or sketching, or what are you doing. Okay, then there is like a chat between Moni and Zeboni, and then I'm like, and Zeboni, yeah. So I'm so bad with like pronouncing like nicknames. I know like my nickname is also quite like tricky one, so I'm also like in the tricky pile.
Okay. Kriksis. Am I saying it right? I assume, but I didn't actually.
In Latvian, there is a little bit different. There is like Kriksis, so it's like
Kriksis. Kriksis.
Yeah, but okay. I like both options. Honestly, everyone is calling me Kriksis, like with the soft R.
I can work on my rolling out. Be like Kriksis.
Kriksis, yeah.
Kriksis.
Honestly, I'm so happy that I have a short nickname because my name and surname is so long. Like it's just like it's so hard. Like to like when someone's like, "What is your name?" or like, "Can you please spell it?" or like I don't know, like I'm calling to like I don't know NHS or like I don't know, like some kind of like institution, and they're like, "What is like your name?" and I need to like say my full name and like with the surname, which is also like 10 characters long, and my name is 9 characters long, and usually like if I'm like somewhere in exhibition or something, my name like just takes all the space. So it's like great to have like a shorter place. So yeah.
I've done this second one. Let me show you. Lulabel's asking, isn't it almost midnight in the UK? You two must be tired. It is indeed almost midnight. Let me show you what I'm doing. But it's so like nice to create art, you know what I mean, with other people. I love going live stream. I think I prefer this first one because it's lighter. But this one has
I also prefer first one.
Yeah. I think I like the light here.
Yeah, I like the path. I like the path.
Yeah, I like like it's leading everything. But as you know, I tried your technique up here. I did.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I will leave it like that for. Part of me wants to cover it. I'm like, I love foliage. Need more foliage. And also, maybe if I find some white.
Inga said, I'm currently cleaning up acrylic mess so I can pan more watercolors. Well, that's nice to hear. Yeah, it's actually, I don't know, like maybe we could like have like half more hour and that's it, because I'm actually not anymore like evening person. I now wake up at like 7 or 8, just like without alarm, because I got used to going to sleep at like 12. So this is like the time I got sleep, or like 11. So
I'm done with this one. So I'm done with this one. So whenever you're ready.
I would
Then
love to just get back to this one a little bit, the first one I worked with, and
oh
just like
yeah,
add some. I will leave it. This was such a long, like I didn't expect. Like I wanted to do it much quicker, but it turned out longer because I kept on like adding things and just layering. But okay, I will do this one. Maybe like I don't know, like 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then maybe I could, yeah, go because I'm also like feeling quite tired, but it's like nice tiredness, like when you
yeah.
feel you have done a lot, that kind of tiredness.
Yeah, I felt like a child that doesn't want to go to sleep, and I was like, I know I should go to bed, but I am actually. I don't know why I'm so tired. I think I woke up. I must have woken up. I didn't wake up that early. I don't know. I guess it is like
Not at
nighttime,
7.
so it's reasonable to be sleepy.
Um,
Anita's going to bed. Thank you so much for joining, Anita.
yeah, thank you so much. Um, I want to go to sleep as well, so I will join super soon. Um, okay, so
Oh,
I'm
thank
just
you, Luna
gonna.
Brother. Each have charm. These are really nice. You guys are so sweet. It's so yeah. It'll be. I feel like it's so funny that when I look, I feel like our art has a similar. Obviously, we're painting the same reference, and yet I feel like they look completely different.
They do look completely different. I think like at the end we should like share both, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
gonna
may end up changing the thumbnail so that it has the paintings that we did
not
here.
not the Patreon reward. You could.
Well, actually,
Nice,
I don't
nice.
mind, but sometimes it's nice to let people know what they're going to watch, what we're going to create. We'll see. I actually quite like your Patreon one. It was one of my favorites.
I think it's my one of my favorite watercolor artworks I did as well, like in this year.
I am not surprised. It's wonderful. I'm going to do a tape peel. I'll just make myself bigger for a second.
Oh
God willing,
yeah.
I don't tear my page this time. Mm, and here we go.
Oh.
Yay, clean edges. And let me put that. But yeah, I'll also add our I don't think I added our Ko-fi or our Patreon to Ko-fi or Patreon to the description, but when I update it after the stream, I will add it so that if anyone is interested in either, they are able to join it. Uh-oh. Did my phone just disappear? Right as we were doing the tape peel.
Oh no. It's
No, that's fine. There was literally a time that I tore the paper. Is it one time?
yes.
Actually, two times that I tore the paper during a live stream, and it's like it was a grand offense against everyone who was watching. They were like, I feel like I could hear the gasp of horror all the way from the UK. And this one, ta-da! I really like this page.
I like
But
how they all look like together. They look like a collection of
yeah, me too. These
like
two,
woodland house
yeah,
collection. um,
like a little woodland theme. I think I'm gonna cover the
mhm.
branches. I can't do it. I feel like it draws too much attention to the top. I can't- I'm trying to be. I'm trying, but I can't do it. As you complete yours, and then I'll make yours bigger. Um. Oh, Tabitha's here. She says, "I can't believe I missed the beginning of this. Two of you are my favorite one." Oh, thank you so much, Tabitha. I really appreciate it. And you can watch it on the replay, because we will leave it all up.
Yeah,
And you're
this will be
on there. I've also
available.
linked. Hmm?
Yeah, this will be available afterwards
Yeah,
to see as
exactly.
well.
Who does the tape peel and then goes back and starts painting on the edges? Living dangerously. Who on earth does things like this? Me. I do.
It's
Yeah.
midnight. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say like let's do like 15 more minutes and then. Oh, so it's
Yeah.
now 3 hours and 3 minutes. So when there will be 3 hours and 10 minutes, no, 3 hours and 15, then we should have, I guess, goodbye. um,
Hello, goodbye to you, my friend. It's like a song from what's it called? Bear in the Big Blue House. It's like a kids show. But yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. See, this is
yeah,
the thing. I
I
was
just
so
feel
impressed when
like,
you were like, "Oh yeah, we'll do 3 hours." I was like, "Are you sure?"
well, honestly, I checked and I missed the time. You said like we will start at 8, and I missed that part. I was going to say I could even do 4 hours, but then I realized
Yeah, that's why I was
why.
like surprised. I was like, "Wow, okay, well." I never like suggest a time just because I know that I don't want it to be like overwhelming. And I know that a lot of people that I've invited to do live streams haven't done it before. And it can be quite a lot to get used to. Like it's a lot of stimulation to be, painting and doing all this and doing it all live. Um, so that's why I never suggest a time. I just say I am happy to literally go any amount of time. If you want 45 minutes, I'm down for it. If you want 6 hours, I'm down for that too.
I don't know. Uh, that would be too much, especially like in this late of hour. Um, but yeah, I already like feel my energy is like
Yes, that's
energy levels
typical.
low. Um, because this is like the time when I go to sleep. So I guess that's why. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, for me too. I don't know why my phone disappeared. Let me go and come back. Although I'm not doing anything drastically exciting at this point.
Oh,
Hello.
good night, Sonia. Thank you for joining. And hello, Tabitha.
Good night, Sonia. Uh, I have to do that whole camera thing that we were doing at the beginning, you remember?
Um,
Don't worry. The
yes,
the that camera,
camera.
flip this.
Oh, yes. Maybe that's the sign.
Yeah, it just randomly stopped. It's like, enter studio. Got it.
Just
And we're back. Are we? Yes, we're back. Good. Wonky, but back. Mm, okay, that was good while it lasted, but yeah, I had to cover it. I'll try again next time. I think I just love foliage a bit too much to do that. I'm also thirsty for Coke. Moni's asking you, are those the Princeton Select brushes? I love mine, but they always break on me. The blue coat would just chip off.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is Princeton Select. I already like I have the same problem. Look, this is
Oh,
the it breaks a little bit.
yeah, it's chipping.
And I had like wait, where's the? Well, I ruined this one kind of because this is like super small one, but it's also like you can see them.
So it chips all the way up to the top as well. So it's not necessarily just the where the water touches it.
Yeah, I think like it just like goes through and then it's kind of yeah, it's effect yeah, it's I really like this one. This is Dagger Striper. This is
Yeah,
like
I
with
love
the
dagger now.
I really like the shape and yeah, it's maybe I will find some different. Like I have like mix of brands. I haven't bought brushes in a while. I usually get them as a gift, or I have like I don't know 12 like throughout like 12 or 14. I don't know how many years. Like I've been just like I throw brushes away only when they're like completely
Done.
like done. Yeah. And even like then I'm like, this could be great for dry brushing techniques
Texture.
or like texture. Um, but yeah,
Um, the dagger brush that I love using at the moment is the Rosemary and Co. dagger brush. Don't know where I've put it at the moment, but that's a really nice shape. If you're using it for watercolor, I think that's really nice.
yes,
Where do I have where? Oh, here it is. And I'm rough on the brushes. I know I've only had it for I think 3 months or so, but they haven't chipped, which is quite good. It's a series
yes.
311 3/8 inch dagger brush. And still in pristine
Okay,
condition, and I've been using it like a workhorse recently. Mm,
okay,
doing like little add gouache.
okay. I think I just like I can't function anymore. So maybe I don't know. Let me know when you are ready. I'm I'm like quite sleepy already. So
I
yeah,
think
I think I
I
will.
think fair enough. Honestly, I'm impressed that you made it this long. You were really committed to the time. I was like, wow, well, however long you want to go, no problem.
Well,
Yeah.
I tried my best, and it's been
And you
really nice to
succeeded.
just also be here with such an amazing community you have, and also some commune no commuters like people who come from my channel here as well,
Yeah.
and it's been really nice to kind of have blend of our communities, and it's really nice also to see like the chat like in between about art supplies and colors and everything in general. So it's really nice, and yeah,
I'm honestly
I'm
so
just
glad that you were able to come here. I feel like I'm super inspired. My monochrome sketchbook will thank you for it. My limited palette sketchbook will thank you for it. And also just like getting to add more textures to my art and like playing around and using different references to what I would normally use has been super fun. And I appreciate
yeah,
you for joining. I appreciate everyone in the chat for all the amazing conversations and for keeping us encouraged and for waiting for us as we were sorting out the technical difficulties that we were having. And you guys are
yes,
all like honestly the real MVPs. Like we really appreciate you. If you happen to have been painting or drawing as we were like streaming, then you should, if you don't mind, share it on Instagram and tag us so that we can see what everybody was doing at the same time. I love seeing everybody's art as well. If you haven't already subscribed to Kriksis and you love her art and you've loved like her general cozy, super awesome vibe and the
oh
illustrations and the ideas that she shared and her palettes and all the attention that she's given to her art, then be sure to check out her channel, which I have linked down below as well, and also her Instagram, and check out her Patreon if you want more. Check out my Ko-fi if you want more. But honestly, thank you all for joining the stream. And thank you, Krixis, for your stamina. I am impressed.
thank you
I'm
so
going
much everyone, and I feel like we should have like collaboration like in video format. Maybe we should like I don't
100%.
know, I should send you like purple colors and you could like send me like neutral,
Really
and
good colors. Yeah,
but yeah,
I honestly think we should continue the conversation on Instagram because I think it started, but you're correct. It's kind of like, okay, let's handle one thing, and then once we handle the other thing, we can do the rest. But yeah, I would love to do a collaboration. So you guys should stay on the lookout for that, like a proper video. Don't know what it's going to be about yet,
yeah,
but
yeah.
what I know is that it's
But
going to
this
be
is the
awesome.
first time we were speaking as well, like
Yeah, but
like in
so
the
this
chat
is the
form.
weird. This
So
might be the weird thing for you because I've been watching your channel for like
Yes.
a year plus. It felt like I knew you. It didn't really occur to me that you might not actually know me, and you might be like, whoa, this is weird. But because I'd watched because I'd watched your channel, and because I'd like watched it for so long, and because in your videos you're like talking and you're expressing yourself, I knew that we would get on a live stream because I felt like I already like knew you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So that's why I was
Yeah.
like, oh
No, but
yeah.
it also doesn't feel super weird to me because I have watched some of your videos, so it's like, okay, I feel like I know where I'm getting into. So
Yeah, because
yeah.
otherwise it can sometimes feel like a bit risky, right? If it's not someone that you've worked or that you know or you've collaborated with before, it can be a bit of a big commitment to go live with someone, right? Because if you don't get along and if you don't enjoy and it's live, like everybody can see, there's no take backs.
Yes.
So I've only like asked, people that I really know I'd get on with. So I was like, I love your art, I love
Yeah.
your videos. I feel like we've painted together virtually anyway without you knowing. So why not make it official?
So
But
thank you for
honestly, thank
reaching
you
out
so
to
much.
me, and yeah.
You're more than welcome. I'm going to end so you can stay here for a second, Kriksis, but for everybody else, I'm going to say goodnight. Don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe. And thank you all so much for such a wonderful evening. You are the real MVPs. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
And